alone.
You can record simultaneously.
You can?
Wait, so that's recording. And then
Yeah, it's recording. But then it doesn't. Or maybe wait. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I should just leave that there, right?
You ready to start?
Yeah.
Testing. Okay, levels are cool. Take one step and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me a second to think. Because I also want to talk about how we met. This will be a good transition. And then we answer your question, okay?
For sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty, yo, welcome back to one of our first, I've done a couple podcasts before, as you guys know. You've probably seen some stuff I did with other people on Instagram Lives, or I guess that's really only on Instagram Lives. But this is the first time that I get to be physically in person with my boy Omar.
That's good.
And it's nice to finally be here, you know. So I appreciate you having me over in this beautiful house, beautiful day here in Toronto, and finally get to do something on site. You feel me?
Yeah, I do.
And just for those of you that don't know who Omar is, his TikTok is callme.gaskin, correct?
Yep.
And so he posts a lot of anime stuff. So if you guys are big into anime, go follow him, please, because you're definitely gonna enjoy the content he posts, and we're definitely gonna be doing more stuff in the future when it comes to all the podcast things. And so yeah, don't be afraid to just check his stuff out. Obviously, you guys are viewing this on my page right now, so you guys are more than welcome to stay. But I do want to get quickly into the story of how we actually met, because I think this is an interesting story, and it talks about how far technology has come today. So funny enough, Omar actually first followed me on TikTok, and if I miss out any details, bro, please jump in. I don't know how long ago it was, but at one point, this guy named Callme.Gaskin decides to follow me, and I'm like, okay, cool. He posts anime. I'm not big into anime because I don't watch it myself, so that's why I wasn't really cool. I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
We both had around the same amount of followers. I'm like, okay, cool. Seems like a cool guy.
We did have the same amount of followers at the time. I remember that.
Yep. And I just knew that you were passionate about what you do, because I was looking through your content, and I'm like, I love people like this, because when I see that people actually care for a certain subject and actually want to post and talk about it and share it with the world, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You're building your community of people that love your stuff the same way I'm building my community and this amazing TikTok family that we have going on right now. And so, yeah, it truly is amazing. And so he followed me. I didn't follow him back right away because I wasn't really into your content like that.
I feel you. I feel like there's no reason to follow people if you're not into what they're doing. So I don't feel like I've followed people who don't follow me back, and it's not like a you didn't follow me back sort of thing. It's like, well, you obviously don't like anime. That's all it can mean, and that makes sense, So it's like, yeah, it's whatever. But then you did follow me just because we know each other now and we're cool with each other, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was nice because after a little while, once I was able to finally go live with everybody, I know, Omar, you ended up joining my live, and I didn't even know this guy does music, and we're going to get into that just in a second, but this guy finally told me, he's like, yo, I'm making tracks, and I'm like, yo, I'm a music engineer, and so I'm like, bro, why have we not connected yet? And so we finally connected on that. We finally did a song together. We killed it. We did the best we can. Amazing musician right here. And so, yeah, it was truly amazing. And then he told me he lives in Brampton, which is about 15 minutes from me, because I'm in Etobicoke. And I'm like, yo, what are the odds of that? You end up following me randomly on TikTok. You live close to me.
We both make music shit. Why didn't we work together sooner, sort of thing,
It was meant to be, brother. It was meant to be. It was just one of those ones where I'm glad it finally unfolded and we were finally able to make things happen. And here we are. And so, and it's nice because that really does show the beauty of technology today and social platforms, where you could literally find someone from around the world and either work with them, even if they're in Australia or Europe or somewhere in the States.
Find a for real friend that you could vibe with for real. That's crazy to me how when I found your videos, it was I think I told you before, but that's some shit that I wanted to do as well. Just talking about things that come to my mind that might be able to help people, that other people can learn from or take away whatever they take away. It's cool that I found somebody who actually does that shit on the regular, I can't do it all the time because I don't have I keep to myself, I don't get in too many situations and stuff like that, although I do have the thoughts, but just to see you doing it daily, keep going, it's just cool, you know what I mean?
It is. And that's the amazing thing. We both have our same mission to go out there and help people, which is the most important part. And so, Yeah, I don't know. Technology just brings people together, and we're able to just collaborate. And as you said, make new connections, make new friendships, relationships, all 9 yards. You know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
And it's cool. So I'm glad that we're finally here together, and I know this is the start of an amazing journey for both of us, and we're gonna keep uplifting each other to do the best we can, and to keep putting out content, and to keep growing both of our audiences, and hopefully cross audiences, and yeah, we'll just see what this journey takes us. But that's cool. But I know before I mentioned that you do music, and so this is what I didn't know. So I want to hear more about your music stuff and your journey on how you got into music. Where did that passion first come from? Because I know you were saying before he's in a band, and so I want you to explain just your whole music journey, and if you were doing music prior to all this, or if you got into your later years. I don't know. Just talk about that and just
Alright.
talk to me, man.
Well, like my music journey, like it's kind of like with your videography stuff. Like I kind of started at a young age. Like my dad, he was playing like James Brown and like just stuff around the house on like all surround speakers in my house, right? So like I grew up with music, and then got into drums. You know, I got into drums around like grade 6, around that. Went to high school for music, and then I joined this band, like a jazz band. It's like 20 people in it, right? We just play stuff from like the early 50s, early 40s, you know, that sort of stuff. So it's really cool, and just got me exposed to more stuff too. Like I remember my first like real performance on a stage, like with crazy lights and like a huge, like, cause what my shit is like, I like to perform. I like people's eyes on me. It's weird cause I'm an introvert. I shouldn't like that stuff because it's not really compatible, but I love it. I love it when like the crowd is like into me, you know? So when I'm performing, I gotta show you later, like a video of me drumming, I'm smiling, I'm having fun. I love it, you know? So that's sort of what I'm passionate about, and just, that's what started my journey, I guess. And then after that, I should get into like why I started singing and stuff. I don't know, like in high school, I used to kind of just like play around, you know, with my friends, making tracks or whatever. But when I started taking it seriously, I was like, I could like try and train my voice to sing and do what I want to be able to do, so I could produce what's in my head. And so I don't have to rely on other people to do this stuff, you know? And I kept doing it, I got better, and now I have stuff that I could actually like put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't know. It really is an amazing journey. So it's been ingrained in you ever since you were young.
Pretty much,
just through your dad, and then as you got into high school, you're like, yo, let me just be a performer, and you just, became the band in your high school, did your thing, and just perform must be exhilarating too, especially if you're like on the introvert side, because you're just like, and like it's just different crowds and different energies that you feed into. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can do different sets, but it's gonna be, you can do the same set for different people, and like that's a whole different vibe, you know? Because people is what makes it. It just makes it what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like you're performing for people, and you're doing it because you love it, and that's the most important part. And so like it's nice that you get to express yourself in that way, and people just really mess with it. And it's really
a crazy opportunity because like the band I'm with, I joined them so I was in grade 10, and then I finished grade 10 in the summer is when I joined, and they have a program where they actually pay me to be in their band, right? So we're on a government grant. Usually, I started out in like the junior band, right? So they gave us like $3,000 for a summer, right? And then all throughout the year when you're in the band, they don't pay you. But now I'm in like the senior band, right? Right now, because it's like COVID season and everything like that, they have us on like a government grant. I'm getting like $6,000 for the summer. It's a good gig. I'm doing what I love. It's a bit tedious now because I have to do music online, which I hate. Like it's actually what they have us doing is meeting online and trying to play in real time online, and it's like I have to hook it like my computer up to an Ethernet and all that. It's tedious, but it's what I love to do, you know. So it's a good deal for sure.
No, it sounds amazing. Like why not? Make money doing the thing you love. So how are you guys eligible for this government like funding? Like this, is it like through the school, or did you guys apply for it separately? Like how did that whole thing turn out? Because I'm sure there's other people out there right now that's like, like I'd love to make music because we're born 01, so we're 19. And so I'm sure there's other people kind of in the same age group or even younger that'd be like, I'd love to just make money doing the thing I love and not have a job. And so, is there, I don't know, like, is there any tip or advice you can give people in order to like get some government funding, and how would they go about doing that? Is it like in a high school setting, or they apply for it separately? Like, how did you guys do it?
Well, I don't know about the government funding. I honestly got kind of lucky. It was like my high school teacher, and this is another thing we can get into, like the impact teachers have on people, because like teachers can change your life.
Yeah.
But my high school like music teacher just gave me a brochure. He's like, hey, you should try out for this band. It's pretty good. They pay you. And because he saw like something in me where it's like, you're a pretty good drummer. You could do this, right? And honestly, I wasn't even gonna audition just because I'm shy. I don't know. I kind of got scared in the moment. I didn't really want to like go into a new setting. People don't like change, people don't like change. So I wasn't going to, but my dad forced me. Have him to thank for that. So that was great. But yeah, I kind of just got lucky with the whole government funding. But I'd say you could find a lot of this stuff online for sure. Like online or like at community centers, you could find like, I was in, like you saw, like when we went up to my room, like you saw all like the trophies and everything.
Yeah,
I was in a lot
of
sports and like a lot of extracurricular activities as a kid. And that's solely because like my mom, when we'd go to like a community center, she looks at the bulletin board, and on the bulletin board, there are so many different like activities and stuff you could do that like have all these different benefits that other people can benefit from, So it's like, just try and find stuff, like online, whether it's online or like at a community center, like stuff's out there, it's stuff is always out there for anybody,
Yeah, you just have to like go out there and find it and search for it, right? Hey, Google's your best friend when it comes to this type of stuff, like
with technology nowadays, it's like you can find anything.
Literally. And that's the beauty about it, you just have to actually take the first step to taking the initiative to go out there and make something of yourself. So as you said, finding bands that might have government subsidies that pay and do all that good stuff if you're a musician, of course. And yeah, and just making things actually happen. And I was gonna say one more thing. Yeah, I don't know, it's all give me a sec.
What was that?
I was about to say, I don't know why the camera just turned off. Card full. Card's full.
What does that mean? There's no more film?
No, yeah.
Oh shoot. Let me check if I have any. I could check if maybe I have some film.
Check. We can just continue this because we're gonna cut it up anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Alrighty, y'all. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, we're back. We got everyone live. Guys, appreciate everyone that's joining live right now. You guys are all amazing. Okay, that's recording. Cool. Alrighty, where did we leave off? Oh, man. Music stuff.
We were talking about music and stuff. Yeah.
Honestly, if we can just wrap that up, to be honest, because I forgot like where exactly we were. But real. Honestly, like I love the journey that you take, and hopefully, you can continue making music and we can continue working together. And for those of you that don't know, Omar's starting to make his own music now. And I know, like, are you currently working with a producer? I forgot what you said.
Currently working with producer. His name is Midas.
He makes like your instrumentals and beats?
He makes some of them. Some of them I just get off YouTube, buy it if I need to and whatever. But yeah, that's my producer going forward, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to him. So yeah, that's good. As I said, so I'm glad you're working with your producer, and then you got your other friend who's also kind of into engineering. And then for those of you that don't know, I'm also a music engineer, and I can get into that whole story in a sec. But yeah, so as I said, like, I wish you the best of luck in all your music stuff, and hopefully we can continue cooking up some bangers together,
for real.
And just do something great and just stay in the music industry and just kind of go on from there. Cool.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you before, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Like, what's your dream?
That's a good question. Very good question. So it's funny. So I was talking to a few people about this the other day, and even like the studio that I go to. The guy who runs the studio, or he's one of the co-owners, his name's Ante. Shout out Ante. Amazing engineer, amazing, well-established studio. A lot of underground rappers go there. And so I was just telling you about this. So for me currently, the three things that I'm working on is, one, I'm into videography. So I'm a videographer. So I shoot music videos, real estate videos, any types of videos that come my way. And that's also where I get some of my income from, which is nice. So I'm doing the thing that I love. and also working on music now. So I'm currently reaching out to artists on Vamper. And Vamper, do you know what Vamper is?
I saw you talking about it, and I actually downloaded it. I didn't use it yet though.
So for those of you that don't know what Vamper is literally Tinder but for music creators. And so you just swipe on different creators, you get to reach out to them and connect with a lot of people who are into music, either they're producers or engineers or artists, and just do your thing. So I'm also working on the engineering stuff, so I'm reaching out to a lot of people on that app, and I've gotten a few clients, and just continue just to mix and master and just see where all that stuff takes me as an engineer. So videography, engineering, and then lastly I have my personal brand, which is the TikTok stuff that I'm doing right now. So for all you guys that are watching this, you're probably seeing this on TikTok. If you're not, I do have a TikTok. My TikTok is the @ is period Soko, SOKO _ so period Soko _ if you just type in Soko, honestly my account might pop up. But on there, like I just like to post videos about anything really. Like I branded it around life chats with Ben, so it allows me to really branch off into different areas of life. So I can talk about friendships, relationships, careers, anything that's relatable. And so my main intention is just to put content out there that people can relate to, and that they can take something away from it and be impacted by it in any way possible. And that's where you and I kind of can connect, where we just want to put out content that helps people. And so those are really the three things I'm going to be focusing on the next 5 to 10 years, because for me, at least probably like 10 years from now or even 15 years from now, by the time I'm like 32, 33, 34, I want to have all this sets, because that's kind of when I want to have kids and like maybe get married around that age, around like 34, 35.
So you want like how many kids you want?
I want one kid.
One kid.
Okay, one kid. One kid, but I'm open to more, because like, it's like for me, like I'm an only child.
Okay.
Actually, we'll get into that in just a second. I want to finish off the whole goal thing, because I know this is a whole nother topic we can talk about. And so for me, that's kind of like the three things that I'm working on over the next 5 to 10 years, because I want to have the time to build something for myself, and to be doing the thing that I love and being happy. Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy in this life, it's not a life worth living. You know, it's just like you're not being fulfilled. There's no satisfaction. There's just nothing in it. You know, and so this is what I know is going to bring me fulfillment. That's why I'm going head on and just taking every opportunity I can within the either video or music stuff or even TikTok, and who knows where this is going to go. I'm trying to build my amazing TikTok family on here and on Discord and just all that good stuff. And so just really trying to see if I can get that to a place where I can eventually just, you know, quit my retail job that I'm doing right now and just live off this stuff that I'm doing right now, you know. And who knows where life will take me. But over the next 5 years, I'm just gonna be grinding away at constantly posting videos, constantly shooting videos, and constantly making music. And so doing that, and then I want to eventually get into investing. So I'm currently investing like in just the regular stock market. So I have my portfolio, invest in a few stocks here and there. Tesla and Apple are really carrying my portfolio right now.
I've heard that Tesla is pretty good.
Yeah, so that they're carrying my portfolio. But then on top of that, I've just gone into crypto as well.
I got into crypto
and so
too.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that too. Yeah. So for me, I've been investing. I invested like around 500 into Ethereum so far. I don't want to do Bitcoin just yet, because like it's just way too high, and I know Ethereum is like it's in that range where like it's more affordable, especially at smaller chunks. So I think right now it's trading at 3,000 for one Ethereum, and so just buying chunks of it it's better. So kind of have that going for me. So, but I want to invest more as I start to just get more money and all that stuff, and then eventually get into real estate.
Actually you being like the real estate,
well, not real estate agent, but actually like buying properties and like renting it out.
Oh yeah. No,
so
investing
into real estate, exactly. So, and the nice thing about that is that I guess I've kind of started. My mom really started, because my mom wants to move back to the Dominican, because ever since we went there, she just loves it there, and so she's probably gonna move within the year and just, you know, be settled and live her life, and she can finally be happy while I stay here in Toronto. And I told her about investing, because she wants to start investing as well. And I said, like, listen, like, real estate is probably the best investments you can do. I mean, as I said, I'm no professional. I'm like, this is just based off what I've seen and what I know. Real estate is like, it's always going to be here. People are always going to need a place to live.
People always going to need houses. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and so that's why it's like, for the long term, real estate's the way to go. And so we actually already bought a condo in the Dominican. Really? And it's almost done being built. Yeah, it's about like 5 to 10 minutes from the beach.
Oh, that's nice.
And once it's done being built, it's a 1-bedroom. People are like, if people want to come on vacation, we're going to be putting on an Airbnb. and people can just come through, or people that I know, whether it be all these people on TikTok right now, or anybody I talk to. If you guys ever need a condo, they can just come to me and be like, hey, like, you have something in Dominican? Of course, I got you. And so
that is sick.
Just that's gonna be like our first official property, and it's probably gonna be paid off in 10 years or so. I don't know when, but yeah. So that, and then hopefully I can do more of that on my own once I start to get more money. So that's kind of where my head's at for the next 10 years, just working on these 3 things, being able to monetize them, and then use that money to invest and like have my money make money for me.
Yeah.
And really just get to a point where by the time I want to have kids and start a family,
stable.
Financially free, stable,
Got you.
and just in a place where I've made enough money, because I want to make a lot of money in my life. I just do. That's just kind of one of my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so just see where life takes me. So it's kind of like where my head's at for the next years or so, you know?
And you said before, like, you want to do what you know is going to make you happy, right? So
Absolutely.
Let me ask you, because technically speaking, you are doing that right now. So would you say you're happy right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, brother.
Okay.
I'm happy. No, I'm happy that I found the thing that I love. Yeah. And you only find that by trying out different stuff. So for all of you out there that are listening to this, if you do not know what your passion is, and that's okay, that's fine. I know a lot of people might be finishing high school right now or in college, and they still don't know what they want to do, and that's fine. But the thing is that, like, this is one thing I don't like about certain parents, that they force their kids into taking a thing that they don't really want to take, and they want their kids to live out their dream, which is so sad, because it's like your kids are gonna end up resenting you, and if they don't do the thing that they love, it's not good for anybody. And so
it's I feel like a lot of parents, or a lot of people in general, like, you don't even have to be a parent to fall into this trap, but I feel like a lot of people, when they're growing up, they like fantasize about what their kid is going to be like, right? And they think like, oh, my kid's going to be like a mini me. No, like, that's not what it is. Like, your kid is their own person. They can have their own interests apart from you. Yeah, they'll have certain things that they take from you and your other, like, their other parent or whatever, but they're their own person, and they could be influenced from things other than the parents as well, you know? So it's tricky being a parent, and that is kind of scary to me. Like, I don't even know if I want kids. I, like, on one hand I do, but on the other, having kids, you need to, like, be able to sacrifice a lot, and I don't know if I'm the person to sacrifice. So like, I don't want to bring a kid in not ready to sacrifice, you know? Because if I have a kid, I'm going to be a good father. Like, that's I need to be, you know? So I don't know.
And it's not wrong not wanting to have kids.
Oh, no,
like, there's
not at
nothing
all.
wrong with that. And so I don't want people to think, like, just because you don't have kids, just because that's, like, going against the norms, that you're doing something wrong. Because you're not. At the end of the day, it's your life, and you need to look out for yourself and your happiness. And if kids is going to bring that whole new level of fulfillment and satisfaction and want to pass on your bloodline and all that, cool, by all means do it. There's absolutely fine. If you don't, and you just want to do your thing and, like, you know, be together with someone for a long time and live your life, that's absolutely fine, okay? So you have options, guys. It's not like you're tied down by one or the other, you know? But yeah, so I was saying about the whole, like, passion thing. So it's like, for those of you that, just to continue that point, because there are many people out there that don't know what they want to do. And I know we got to the point about the whole parents forcing things, and that's the wrong thing to do. So guys, if you're being forced right now to taking a program, honestly, the best advice I can give you is either if you really do not like it, and if you are in the position to drop it and do your own thing, then do it. So if you're like of legal age where you can actually move out and live your own life, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, like, the thing that your parents have over you is shelter and money. So as long as they're paying for your stuff and giving you shelter, they have control over you to some degree. And so if they're forcing you to take a program, you're gonna have to listen to them if you live under their roof. But I always tell people, I'm like, it's honestly not that hard to move out and do your own thing. Like, some people, like, think it's a big task, be like, oh my God, I have to move out, I have to worry about this and that. But what I tell them is, like, break it down, okay? You can move out with roommates. Like, my mom is literally about to leave within a year, and I have 2 or 3 other people that we're all gonna move in together. And there's options out there. Like, you can find a house for $1,500, $2,000, all split it with one another, and you're all paying $500, $600, $700,
Sure.
Which isn't that much. If you
have
a full-time job,
a stable job, for
absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
If you have money coming in, you're okay. And especially if you deal with your money, and if you can do that and move out, then you can do the thing that you want to do, and then you prove to your parents that whatever you want to do will work, and it will happen. And and they'll be proud of you either way. Like, if you end up making
Hopefully.
it and you do great things, which is very possible, they're gonna be proud of you either way, especially if you're doing great things. Like, because they want you to be successful. The only reason why they're forcing you into certain things is probably because
it's what's best for you.
What's best for you, because of their own insecurity, because they want you to make sure you have like a stable life and guaranteed money. But that's all coming from a place of fear.
Yeah.
Not from a place of what's gonna make you happy. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. And so if you guys are really stuck in a position where you really can't handle your program anymore, then and you need to move out and you can, then do it. Yeah. Do what you got to do to make yourself happy and try and make something of yourself the next few years. But if it's a program where like you're kind of okay with it and you can kind of like push through it, get it over so they can be happy, and then go do what you got to do.
Ooh, and also, I feel like it's important to stress that there are things that will give you fulfillment and make you happy in life for the long term, but you can't mix it up with like temporary happiness. Like, for instance, I know you used this example, like chilling with the boys or like playing video games all day or stuff like that, where it might make you happy in the short term, but is that what you want to do with your entire life? Some people, they do, and that's fine. But there are other things that I feel personally like music is just something I'm passionate about. And like you were saying, you got to find those passions. They don't just like find you. You got to find your own passions. You know, you got to try things you've never tried. So yeah, I think that you just need to like latch onto that one thing. And then maybe you can find other things, like you found engineering later than videography, right?
Yeah.
So like you just gotta try things, and things will like work themselves out if you just go for it. Just go for it.
Absolutely. And to go back to the whole trying thing, because this is how you find your passion. Like, you need to dibble dabble into so many different things and taste a lot of different things. So if you have in your mind right now, if you're like, oh, you know, like I like doing Photoshop work, but I also like videos, but I also like doing this, and I also like doing that. Try everything. You're young, like, especially, I mean, no matter what age you are, you're always going to be young, but like, you have time, especially if you're in your 20s or about to be in your 20s, you have time. That's the number one thing that we all have, time. And so try every single thing. Try it. Like, it doesn't hurt to try it. Try this. If it doesn't work out, cool. Try this. If you realize you don't like that, cool. Try this next thing. And you're gonna find that thing. Because who knows? Maybe you're gonna be doing some like media work, and through media you end up seeing another job, and you're like, that looks really interesting.
That's actually kind of cool. Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then you try that job, and you're like, I love it. And you found your thing, and you go head on into it. So if you don't know what your passion is, you need to try anything that comes to mind. And you'll see if you like it. Because maybe you have an idea, you might like something, but then as soon as you start doing it, you're like, oh, it might require too much work or whatever, X, Y, and Z, and you don't like it. Fine. Try everything, find the thing that you love, and that will become your passion. And when you find that passion, you go all out.
I feel you. Yeah.
And you can have multiple passions too. Like, look at me. I'm doing videography. And I'm doing music engineering. It kind of, I mean, they relate to some extent because it's like audio video. And so it's related.
You're lucky that you could kind of work on both at the same, like in the same sort of field, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if it can be related like that, then cool, awesome. That's even better. But there are people out there that like
just like two different things. Like me, I like anime, I like music. Oh well. That kind of relates because I do talk about like soundtracks as well. Like I'm huge on soundtracks. I love soundtracks, but yeah, like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what you're into as long as like you're passionate about it and you could find something to love about it. Like to truly love something it's just an amazing feeling, and I recommend everybody go out and find what you love.
Yeah.
You know?
No, exactly that. And just to close out the point of like long-term satisfaction, the thing that you love, not like you don't want temporary and short-term fulfillment. Because like, yes, as you said, you can chill with the boys, you can chill with the girls, you can chill with whatever. This is all good stuff, and we all need social interactions, but don't make that a routine thing where you're spending every single night. And I used to be like this a couple years ago. All my boys used to go every single night, which wasn't a bad thing. Like, we were enjoying our life, and you can do that if you want. Like, even if you're in your 20s, and if you want to over the next 5 years, by all means, go do it. That's okay.
In life, you know?
Exactly. And that's okay. You can do that, but don't complain that you're not getting anywhere in your career or your job because you're not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that's fine. You can live that life. But if you want to get somewhere and start to, get yourself closer to that goal early on, then start early on and find that thing. So there's a right balance. So really see if it's feasible. Like pick that industry, find the thing you love, and then go ahead on. So yeah, so just make sure, as you said, distinguish those two things and still have your social interaction once, twice a week, whatever it is for you. But every day, and this is a motto I've been kind of living by, like do something every day to get you one step closer to your end goal.
And it doesn't have to be a big thing.
It doesn't have to be a big thing because small things add up in the long term. So
I feel
set your micro goals and have macro goals. So like my macro goal is in the next 5 to 10 years, I want to grow this amazing TikTok family, have a certain amount of money coming in through my businesses. Cool, macro goal. But what am I going to do on a micro level every single day? So when it comes to TikTok, continue to engage with all my amazing people that are watching right now, and provide them amazing content to help them in some way and provide value, or do a track a day, because I was doing that for like the last week. I was doing kind of like a track every 2 days or a track a day, trying to get me one step closer to building my client base. And so these little things add up in the long term. It's just like working out. Like you can do 10 push-ups a day, and over the course of the year, you might grow some muscle. You might actually, but if you don't do anything, you're not gonna progress anywhere. And I feel like a trap that people fall into is that they think that by doing these little things, it's almost not worth it. They might think like, oh, why would I do 10 push-ups? Or why would I do a video a day? Or like, why would I do that small thing? Because like, it doesn't seem like it's worth it because they don't have the vision long term. They don't know that it accumulates and builds on top of each other to get to the point where they're trying to get, And so, guys, I'm telling you, every small thing matters. Every small thing matters because it all adds up at the end of the day, whether it means saving money, investing, working out, doing one thing to achieve your goal. It adds up, guys. Please, please, please just listen to what I just said because it's so important.
And even just thinking about like what you just said, it got me thinking that I noticed that like, let's say there's a lot of TikTok creators, like there's a lot of creators, right? And I've seen some people complaining like, oh, I don't feel like making videos anymore because I'm not getting views on something that I've worked so hard on. And to an extent, I could like, I feel that, like if you work hard on something, you want to see the like rewards, you want to see that. But like, I've never felt that way personally because like I make videos because I like to make videos, because I just like talking about anime, I just want to get my thoughts out there, and whoever sees it, sees it. I'm not looking for a spontaneous blow up out of nowhere and then I get big, like it's not really about that for me. It's more just like I like to make videos, so I'm gonna make videos X amount of times a week, and that'll be that, like you can't I feel like if you go into something seeking the rewards, you're gonna burn out, because you're not gonna get the rewards that quickly. Like a very small amounts of things work that way. You know what I mean? So like if you're thinking about making like a podcast or a YouTube channel or whatever the case may be, like do something that you're passionate about that you can talk about daily. Because at that point, you're not going to care about the rewards. You're just going to want to do it because you like it,
Right, and because you can provide value to people, and the people that do come along the amazing journey are more than grateful to just support you, love you, respect you, and will have their own engagement, And so a lot of people want things to happen really quickly, but it's not. Like all good things take time. Think of this as an investment too. Like you have to think of it as an investment, because whenever you invest into anything, you're not going to see the rewards right away. You're not. But 10, 20 years down the line, or even 5 years down the line, depending on what it is, you'll see it. But people aren't patient. No. And patient takes you places. If you want things fast, you're never going to get anywhere.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just.
Let me check what I wrote down because I have other.
Do your thing. I have a couple more thoughts on this. And so, guys, it's think of this as an investment in yourself. There can be obviously investment in stocks, investment in the real estate market, investment in whatever. But if you're investing back into your own business and yourself, that's going to take you places, and that will truly have lifetime fulfillment and satisfaction. So put in the work now, and then and just do it because you love it. And I promise you, the growth will come, the people will come, and most importantly, money will come. It will. Don't focus on the money. Don't focus on the metrics. Do it because you love it, because I promise you there are other people that mess with it too. And that once you get that going and you stay consistent, then you're going to grow. And like one thing on consistency too is like, I just made a video on this, but I want to repeat it again now, is it's good to stay consistent. Consistent will take you places. And you can continue to keep hustling and grinding, keep doing that. But guys, if you feel the need, you need to take a break or two sometimes, take your break, because the hustle and the grind can be tiring. It really can.
No, for sure.
And so I don't want you to feel that you need to be grinding every single day for 12 hours, whatever. It's okay to take a day or two break, because like it can get exhausting. As much as we love something,
too much of anything is exhausting.
We're all human. And our energy levels go down.
Mm-hmm.
And when our energy levels go down, it's hard to be happy doing the thing that we love. So it's okay to take a break or chop it up into smaller pieces. So even if it means take a day or two break, do it. If it means you're going to get back to normal. The problem that people run into is that when they take the break, they don't get back into their routine and stay consistent again. They get too comfortable.
Yeah.
And getting comfortable doesn't take you anywhere.
No.
So you need to be uncomfortable. You get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that will take you places, okay?
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I'm telling you, as soon as you learn that, so get comfortable with being uncomfortable and patience, and that will take you everywhere, anywhere, everywhere.
Places. Wherever you want to go, that's where it'll take you.
Literally.
I feel you.
And just focus on what you got to do. So take a break if you need to, but get right back into it the next day or the day after, and keep grinding and keep working towards that goal. And yeah, but one more thing too. I'm so sorry. This just came to mind. I think everybody would take something away from this.
Yeah.
Guys, think of this as a marathon. Like, especially when it comes to your goals, it is not a sprint. No. It is not a.
You gotta pace yourself.
Yeah, it's not a 2-second thing where it's done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because for a sprint, people are only thinking about, okay, what's gonna happen tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay, am I gonna achieve my goal then? No. Life is a marathon. You have to think long term. Think years ahead, not days ahead. Because that's how you're actually going to achieve things, and pace yourself accordingly in order to get there, okay? Because once the sprint's done, it's done. But marathon is where it's at, because that will get you in the mindset to keep going. The reason why people give up is because they're thinking of it as a sprint, because they think the finish line is right there when it's not. So when the finish line doesn't come, they're like, oh, I'm tired, I'm done. No, but when you know it's going to take a long time, when you know life's a marathon, then you know to just trust the process, trust the vision, and just keep going.
I feel you. And even something you said just now, like when it comes to like taking breaks and stuff, like I know for me, I haven't posted as many TikTok videos as I should be, probably. And I am taking like a sort of like kind of like a break from like my consistency pattern, because I used to post a video like at least a few videos a day, right? But now more so like I'm posting a few times a week. And then, but I have been more consistent with music. So I not stopped, but like kind of took a break from my grind on TikTok, but I'm still with my grind on music, and I'm focusing more on my music and stuff. Oh damn, you gotta see what I'm working on. I've just been working on a new song like
I can't wait to see what you're working on.
I was gonna send because I want to work with you again. I'm probably gonna
we'll talk
send
about
it to you.
Yeah, we can all get together, like you and your engineer, and we can make something happen.
But yeah, like even if you take your mind off of one grind, there's always something else you can be working on, you know? And it might be like a high energy thing, it might be a low energy thing, but there's always something that like you can do, that you can have fun with, that you can also use to work on yourself and your craft
and to progress yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely, guys. There's always something to be done. Okay. If anybody ever tells me that there's nothing to do, I swear to God, I'm gonna like come over there and we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna have a talk. So guys, find that thing and start working towards it. All right. I know you said you have some questions. You you already don't. So let's hear it, man.
Some questions. All right. So, let's start out with okay. So, I know we're both on TikTok. We both do lives.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to ask, like, what are your strategies for going live? Like, what do you think about? What are you doing when you're going live? Like, because I watch like psychological videos to kind of like get into people's minds and like really understand how like humans work, how they interact, you know, like body language, like that sort of stuff, right? So and I've like been noticing stuff when I'm talking to you, and like I watch those stuff to kind of make it easier for people to talk with me, you know? And it's because I'm an introvert and I do struggle with like talking to people on for the most part. Although you and another friend of mine, Leo, you said you're an extrovert, right?
I'd like to think so, yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully these people, like, well, my amazing family here can agree to that.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
I've been speaking to you two, and you're both introverts, and I've noticed that
Extroverts.
That's what I meant.
Got you.
And it's really easy to talk to you both. And I'm like, why is that?
I have thoughts on that too.
You know? And I think it's because, like, and you kind of touched on it while we were starting or something, but like, don't be afraid, just like say what's on your mind sort of thing, and you can't really hesitate on that sort of stuff. And I realized, like, once you just put yourself out there, put your full, like, unfiltered thoughts out there, like, you can't worry about what other people are going to think about you, because it's like, once you come with good energy, people reciprocate it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's a crazy thing that I've been noticing, like, across the board, not across the board, but like with Leo and with you and like other people that I've seen, you know? So do you find yourself, I mean, I guess you do find yourself using that with lives and stuff like that, but I just wanted to, like, you could say your thoughts on that. I know you just said you had thoughts on that, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. Like, there's like, I'm just thinking so many different things, but on like just everything you just said, because I have so many different thoughts on like each section of thing you just said, or every little thing. I'm gonna try and like go in order. First of all, I do love to look at like the whole psychology stuff too, just like analyzing people and like seeing the way they behave and just all that good stuff, because then you can adjust your behavior accordingly to match their energy, and hopefully they'll kind of open up and all that good stuff, especially when and like, man, there's a lot. Like, I'm just thinking, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like, there's so many thoughts I have in my mind. So not only can you reciprocate the same energy based on how that person is feeling, but being able to identify what a person is feeling is important, because then you know how to go about helping them in a certain way. So it's almost like with certain girls, and I'm not saying all girls are like this, but with certain responses they give, you know how they say, "Oh, I'm fine," you know, like the typical stuff. I know right away. Like, it's like no one can fool me anymore. As soon as somebody calls me, just their tone of their voice, I just know, you know. And so I can pick up on certain things, and I love doing that too, because it's like, it only better equips you for social situations, and especially if you're an introvert, it's even more important. Because for me, it's more of a way to uplift people that are more on the quiet side, and just bring energy and positivity.
Because I'm not like, bro, this right now, this would not be happening. I promise. Like, if I told my boy, man, like, I would not be working with anybody if I wasn't like, if I didn't feel comfortable around them, and like just opening yourself up to people in such like a good energy vibe sort of way, like, it makes other people comfortable, and now this can happen.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, and that's what I always strive for, you know, whether it be you or all my amazing people on TikTok, or just anybody I'm always around. Like, I want to be able to get close with them and have them be comfortable. We can open up and have just amazing talks like this and talk about how life is, and just be good human beings, you know, and really just not have surface level questions or small talk. Like, it's good to begin with, but like once you really delve into, you know, dig into stuff, I know that's a whole nother thing on its own. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, it was just something to do with the extrovert and introvert. Like, as I was saying, like, especially if you're if you were an extrovert and you notice someone's on the introverted side, then it's easier if you make it how am I trying to say this? Yeah, because I have thoughts on this, guys. Just bear with me here as I just collect my thoughts. I'm not saying this goes for all introverts, but since they're more on the shy side and not willing to just take the step to make things happen, or even lead the social interaction, you have to be the one to do it. And so, guys, give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I'm filming this podcast right now. I just had to just start the recording again. So if you're on the extrovert side and you know somebody is more introverted, start conversations with them, because you are more likely to have things to talk about and things to branch off and start, you know, just different topics that you can just really get into. And just being able to bring that energy that you have to the situation will hopefully make them feel like they can open up, because if there's two introverts talking to each other, it's going to be very hard to get anything out of that conversation.
It doesn't work.
And so if one person if at least one person is extroverted, you can bring the energy, you can bring the conversational skills that you have, and you can just uplift the mood in such a way where the introverts feel more comfortable to start to open up and talk to you about certain things. And so you are in charge of making that situation comfortable for them, because you've probably done it multiple times before with other people, just because of like the way you are and your demeanor and your personality. And then once you get to the point where they are comfortable, then you can really start to get to know them on a deeper level and talk about serious things. But if it's with anybody new, you have to understand that they're not going to open up right away. They're just not, especially if they're on the shy/introverted side. They're just not. And so you have to break that ice first and just be you, be your authentic self, but also don't come off as like like cocky or like over the top. Like be introvert in the sense of like where like you're taking that step forward to like make the conversation happen, but be nice and kind and just a straight up dude. Just like, I mean, I like to think like that's the way I am.
Yeah.
And so like the way I'm just always trying to like just get cool with people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But not over the top at the same time, because that can also scare off people.
Yeah, it could, just speaking from like an introvert sort of a perspective on things, like not every extrovert I meet is like warm and welcoming in that sense. It's like a lot of the times it could be very what's the word I'm looking for, kind of intimidating when like somebody comes like with all this energy, you know what I mean? And a lot of times I'm not in the mood to talk with people that I don't know, just because I don't like small talk and stuff like that. But there's a sort of a way that I feel just that it doesn't really feel like small talk whenever I'm like talking with you, or like even in the lives, it doesn't really feel like small talk. It just feels like open conversation, like we're actually getting to know each other sort of thing. And that's what introverts like. We want to we crave deeper connection sort of thing, you know? And I feel like everybody does. It's just like how much or it's not how much, it's more so like how much energy we have or can expend on this certain thing or like this certain topic or whatever. And then like after we have a conversation, or like say we go out, after a while, an introvert, they're gonna want to go home because they don't have the energy to be doing all that. You know, they recharge by themselves, whereas extroverts, they recharge with people. So it's like, it's a symbiotic relationship that extroverts and introverts have with each other, and it's a fine balance, because like if it tips either or, like if the introvert spends too much time with themselves, it's gonna make the extrovert feel like you don't really want me around sort of thing, and vice versa. It's like if the extrovert's always kind of trying to pal around with the introvert, it's like I do need my alone time sort of thing, you know? So it's a fine balance. Because I asked you before whether or not like, or whether you would like or prefer introverted or extroverted like girlfriend, right? And I'm not sure what
we can touch on that in a sec. I just want to finish this whole topic about like interacting with introverts for a second before we get to that. So also guys, if you have someone who's introverted, or if you know somebody that's introverted and you're out in social situations, you need to help them, okay? Because this is a very, very tough situation for them, because they're introverts, and that means they're not going to be outgoing like you are in social situations. So if you're in a group of people where they don't know somebody, introduce them. Be kind, be like, hey, like Omar, this is my friend. This is my friend David. He's amazing. Like, you guys can probably connect on this, and like stay with them. Like, don't necessarily leave them to talk on their own. Right? Like,
that sucks. Don't leave us at like, if it's like a party or any sort of social situations, don't leave our sides, because it's like obviously you could leave, but like come back.
Yeah.
Like don't leave us hanging.
Take them under your wing when you're in any social situation, because you will make it a lot easier for them. And it'll just be a much better experience for them. And so wherever you go, like, you know, even if like you're done introducing your introvert friend to somebody else, be like, yo, come with me, bring your friend to like another group of people, and be like, hey, like, you know, I want to introduce you to these people, and just chill with them, drink with them, whatever it is, whatever you guys do at parties, just sit with them and like kind of move around with them. Maybe, there might be times where you're separated for a little bit, but generally just stick together in a group. And so it'll just be a lot easier for them, just making friends, making connections, and just actually starting conversations, because you as the extrovert will probably end up starting a conversation with the group of people you're with, and the introvert might want to say something. They might jump in, and it'll be easier.
They'll jump in when they feel like they have something to say. Otherwise, it's just like...
Exactly. And so definitely take them under your wing in certain social situations. And besides the whole group setting, if you're out in public where... Let's say if like you're at a restaurant ordering food or fast food, and you notice your introvert friends having troubles doing that because people are shy, you step in. I know one of my friends, we were out literally getting food at like Popeyes or McDonald's or whatever, and I noticed that they were struggling a little bit. They're like, oh, like, what was this meal again? Like, you know, because they were on the introverted side. I stepped in and be like, hey, you know, like, get them this, and they're like, oh my god, thank you so much. You know, like, they appreciate those things. And so if you see them struggling, please jump in, guys. Please. Man. Why would you want to watch them suffer? Okay,
it's terrible.
Especially if you're extroverted and you're comfortable talking to people like that. Help them out. Order on their behalf. And that's why even if I'm in the car with some people, I'm like, hey, like, are you gonna order for yourself when we drive through? And most of the time they're like, I'll order myself. Just put down the window. Or some other people are like, oh, is it fine if you order? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I got you. What do you want? You know, and I'll order on their behalf. And so just jumping in as soon as you see them struggling, because I promise you, you will be their lifesaver in that moment.
Yeah,
you know,
you will.
Yeah,
Sure.
but it's also good to expose the your introvert friend to social situations so they can start to get a little bit out of their comfort zone.
You might have to force them in that certain regard, because like I remember, man, like I used to like go to parties with my friends. I don't go to parties nowadays, but I used to go to parties with my friends, and I really would be that sort of like, I just want to stick with my people and not talk to anybody else. And like, while that's where my comfort zone is, like you said, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to, like, life is about social interactions. You can't avoid it. That's something I had to learn the hard way. Like, you can't avoid it. You need to learn how to interact with people. So if you are an introvert with an extrovert friend trying to get you into like a social situation, trying to like introduce you to more friends or like a different sort of social circle, you know, go for it. Just try something new. It's going to be uncomfortable for sure, but you can learn something. You might make new connections. It's just you have to eventually branch out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And like, you're right. And so get them out there, get them exposed to social issues. Oh my God, my brain just gave up on me. Expose them to social interactions, but be there by their side to assist them and help them get comfortable. All right, guys. So please, if you're extroverted, help them out. Don't watch them suffer. Yeah, what were we saying?
Yeah. Introverted or extroverted girlfriend? That's what we were gonna go to.
Good question. Very good question.
I don't know. I'm not sure which one I'd prefer. Because on one hand, an extroverted girlfriend, that would probably work the best, because it's that symbiotic relationship I was talking about, where it's like we both need certain things, but at the same time, and I was talking about this in one of your lives, or you were talking about it in one of your lives, non-negotiables and negotiables, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so in the dark on this. I haven't come to a conclusion yet, like with how I want to go about this sort of thing. Like, if I have an extroverted girlfriend and she wants to like go to, I don't know, she wants to go to parties and this and that, like she wants to go out with me, you know, because you want to go out with your partner. That makes sense. But me personally, I don't like parties. So should I sacrifice now my own sort of comfort and go out to a party with my girl, or like stand my ground and be like, I don't like parties, you can go to the party, you could, I'm the type of guy, like, I don't really care what my girl does. You can go out, you could dress however you want, be aware of certain consequences that might come of that, but I'm pretty loose with it. So you can go out, do your thing, I'ma just stay at home though and do my thing. So that's, I guess I kind of want an introverted girlfriend. I think I want an introverted. What do you think?
This is tough. It is very tough, because there's a very fine balance between like your negotiables and wanting someone to do the things that you do and act the same way you do. You know what I'm saying? Because some people want those. Some people want, like, if you're an introvert, you want another introvert person so you can stay in together, watch movies together, play games together, and just not have to worry about them doing certain extrovert things that like you don't really like doing. But then some people also like to have somebody who's the opposite, which is completely fine too, because maybe you want someone who's extrovert to kind of like uplift you at times and bring you out more and get you more out of your comfort zone and just all that good stuff. So it really depends. But God, I'm just trying to think about this. I'm gonna expose myself to all these people in the live right now. Because this thing, first of all, I love everybody. Everybody's truly amazing. I know both of us are, we're not biased or any of that.
I mean, I might be biased.
Well, when I say biased, I mean it's like it comes down more so to vibes and like if you're attracted to the person. You know what I'm saying? Like not like biased towards.
Oh, like
anything like deeper, like on race level or anything like that. Like I'm talking about like you're inclusive. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
we could get back to that, but
we will. But I'm just talking, generally speaking, being inclusive of people, and like giving people the opportunities if you're attracted to them. Okay? Because guys, I need to establish something real quick right now.
You need to be attracted.
Okay, you need. This is something I never talked about on my channel. Okay, guys, there's a difference between being emotionally attracted to someone and being also sexually attracted to someone. Okay, and physically attracted to them. Okay, because you can't have one without the other. Okay, guys?
No, you cannot.
So, and I talk about taste a lot, and it's true. So when I say taste, like you have a certain thing that attracts you, like a certain image, a certain like person that if they attract you, they attract you. That's your taste.
Yeah.
Whatever you're attracted to, that's
Preference,
your taste. Okay. Preference, taste, whatever your type, whatever you want to call it, but taste is just what you're attracted to. Okay. And so I hate when people, like, let's say if you're attracted to some white girl that looks a certain way. Or even actually, let's use a colored person, because this is where some complication. I hate when, like, let's say, like, even from my perspective, I'm a white guy. So let's say if I see a black girl that I'm attracted to her, but I'm not attracted to another black girl, I hate if that other black girl was like, oh, like, you don't like me because I'm black, or like, oh, like, what,
People jump
like
to
we're both black,
like
how do you
that,
not, you like her but you don't like me? Okay,
just
guys,
an
that's
attraction
not,
thing.
it has nothing to do with race. Okay, it just, there's certain features and certain physical things that I'm attracted to, even if you were in the same race. Okay, so it has nothing to do with race, and like, it might even have to do with vibe. Maybe I just don't like your vibe. Okay, but just because you're the same race, it, like, you know, it's just, we all have taste, we all have things we're attracted to. Okay. So there's that. And to be honest, I have no idea what main point I was trying to make here. Yeah, physical and emotional attraction, okay? Because you need to be physically attracted to them. And like, I do believe that you can grow a physical attraction through emotional connection, but most of the time, and I'll expand on that in 1 second.
No, I'll feel you there,
and I think most of the time it is first physical and then it's emotional. Because you might see something, you're like, oh, okay, yo, this girl's cute.
Although
or
there
like,
was one situation where it's the opposite, for me. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
No, it gets that too. That's why I said that, because I'm sure other people, and it goes to guys, it goes for guys as well, because I know most people in here are girls listening to this, but same thing goes for guys. Like, all of us are first, we see the physical features first, and we might be attracted to that.
But you gotta
and if we start to talk to them
deeper.
Exactly. Yeah. If we start to vibe with them, and if we found they're an amazing person,
that makes it stronger.
Game over. Strong connection. You guys might actually foster an actual relationship, and who knows where that will take you. You know what I'm saying? And it can just go from there. But who knows? Like, someone could also be physically attractive, but as soon as you start to get to know them, you're like, oh, you know, their vibe is off, and you're like, that's a complete turn off, and you're like, bye. You know, so it can anything can happen. Or I know in certain cases, I know you probably have a story on this, where you can start off as friends with somebody, or with no intention of getting to a relationship with them. You end up getting to know them on a deeper level. You really kind of mess with them, and you vibe to a whole nother thing. And, you know, a thought might cross your mind, and you're like, yo, why am I not with this person, you know? And so that kind of first emotional connection turns into something physical, because you can almost imagine yourself in a relationship with them, because you guys connect so well that it ends up turning into also a physical connection other than your emotional connection, you know? So it can work both ways. You can start off emotionally with someone, be cool with them, and then it turns into physical and then a relationship. But I think most of the time it does start off with finding someone attractive. You end up vibing and talking with them. If you think they're cool, they think you're cool, done. You take it to the next step. Yeah, go on. I don't
I'm not sure how I feel about, like, the opposite way, like, when you're not that attracted to them physically, and then emotionally, though, like, you guys are vibing, and then you feel like, well, hey, like, we have something here, why not, you know? I was in one of those situations, and I didn't actually end up dating this girl, right? But I do find myself nowadays, I'm reminiscing, like, damn, like, me and that girl, we were really vibing, like, we had something there. I don't know if it would be right to get into a relationship like that, though, because it's like, I don't know. It's like, in 5 years, would I be physically attracted to you? You know, like, because I need to be physically attracted to my partner.
Of course.
That is a must. I can't compromise.
Yeah, that's what makes a relationship a relationship.
Exactly,
And so I just want to interject this for one quick second, guys. Literally, the only thing that makes a relationship is one, commitment and loyalty, and the romantic, intimate side of it. That's what distinguishes a friendship from a relationship. For sure. Intimacy. Yeah. And intimacy comes down to physical attraction. And so, sorry, go on.
No, I wasn't going to say too much. It's just like, I do find myself reminiscing. So I'm like, should I have gone and taken that step to get into a relationship with this girl? And if I did, would I be content with having somebody that emotionally I'm vibing with, we're there, you know? But physically, it's like, you know what happened? She was like, I don't want to use numbers, but let's say she was a 6, right? She was 6, but emotionally speaking, once I got to know her, once we were vibing, she went up to like an 8.
Yeah.
Right? But physically, nothing changed about her. Right. So I'm wondering, like,
it messes with you, because it's like, you want to, but if the physical's not there,
I can't.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I know, trust me, I know exactly what you're saying, fam. It's such a tough situation. It's very tough. 'Cause it's like, you want to, but then it's like, trying to get intimate with them it might be hard. Because if you're not like, if the physical is not fully there, and it's like, as much as I love you as a person, I don't know if I could be intimate with you. You know what I'm saying?
But then, all right, how you
I feel like there
about
are
this?
situations too where like, I don't know. Go on.
How do you feel about like, if you have that situation where it's like, okay, let's say emotionally you're vibing with this girl, physically you're not very attracted to her, but it is there, right? And then you get into a relationship with a girl.
Wait, sorry, I totally blanked out. Say that whole thing again.
So it's the same situation, right?
Okay.
It's the same situation.
Okay.
Emotionally you're vibing with this girl, physically not really there, but then you get into a relationship with a different girl.
Okay.
Physically and emotionally it's there.
Okay.
Can you still be friends with that girl? Ooh.
No, why'd you hit me with that? Oh, this guy's going crazy right now. Scheiße. Yeah, I have to think about this one. So you get into a relationship with this new girl. Physically it's there, emotionally it's there. She's amazing. This other girl you had an emotional connection with. Are you guys friends? Like,
Well,
best friends?
in my situation, we were friends. We were friends, not best friends, but like
And
we
there
were
was
friends
there was
and we were
there was-
cool.
and there was no established, like, you guys didn't
No.
talk about taking it to any further level, no?
Well, at one point, she started talking to me saying like, "This is what I'm feeling," and I like shot her down because I was like,
Yo, that happened to me too. I get really excited. I know exactly what you're saying. I can just imagine. Okay, just go. I'm sorry. Okay, just go. I want to hear the specifics because I know it's probably gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So she told me, and then I shot her down and everything. And then after that, we were still friends. Everything was cool, you know? She took it like, okay, that's cool. Now I know. Great. We're still friends.
And she
Everything's cool.
she was fine with
She
that.
was fine
Oh my
with it.
God, I have a friend like
You
that
know,
right now.
although she was kind of salty. She's kind of salty.
But did it carry on long term, or was it just like a short term thing where it's like,
I think
it sucks, but like after that you're like, we're cool now.
I want to say it was a short-term thing. I don't think it was a long-term thing. I don't think she was the person to be like kind of vindictive like that. Like, I'm gonna make your life hard. It wasn't none like that. I do think like, cause I didn't change the way I acted, right? Because I wasn't actively trying to like flirt with this girl and nothing like that. It just sort of like, we were just on the same sort of wavelength, you know? So I didn't change the way I was acting, and she didn't really change. It was more like, she got a bit, you could tell when there was a situation, if I did like anything wrong, she'd be the first one to kind of point it out, that sort of thing. But it was like all in good fun, sort of. Like, that was kind of our dynamic. Like, we tease each other, sort of thing. I didn't tease her, she teased me. I'm not really a teasing kind of type. But yeah, and like, we stayed friends. We're not friends now though. Like, I don't know, like, shit got out of hand. But I don't know, like, do you think you could stay friends while being in a relationship with a girl like that?
I want to answer that question in a sec.
Yeah.
We need to empty this SD card. Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
All right.
Yo, answer on this one.
Yeah, I'm probably good here. Yeah, probably.
In the meantime, I'm gonna think about that question.
Think about it.
Okay, I have a couple more thoughts I want to ask you.
Okay.
But like, show on the road.
There we go.
Okay. Whew.
We're back.
We are back. Okay, ask your question one more time.
All right, here's the question. So you meet somebody, you are emotionally vibing with them, but physically it's not there. And then later down the line, you're still friends with this first person. Later down the line, you meet somebody, emotionally, physically, you're vibing with them. Can you still be friends with that first person?
So this is where I say I think it depends. Okay, so with that first person, has it always been platonic between you and that person? Was it always just like, yo, we're just friends, and then now you got into a new relationship? Like, you can be friends with somebody and you truly emotionally vibe with them. Mm-hmm. So was it just that?
I think at one point, okay, so basically in my situation, we were platonic. Yeah, we were pretty much platonic for the whole time except for when she came on to me and said, "This is how I'm feeling," and then she wanted me to take her to prom, basically. And it goes into what we were saying before. I don't like prom. I don't like parties. So I said, I'm not taking you to prom. I didn't go to my own prom. I'm not going to your prom, sort of thing, you know? So I wasn't really with that. So up until that point, it stayed platonic. And after that point, it was platonic. So, yeah, let's say platonic for the whole way through.
So, yeah, so if it was platonic the whole way through and you guys were just friends and, like, you truly care for them and you built a connection and they've been around years longer than your current partner has, and like you actually want to keep them in your life, this friend, which I mean, if you build connection with them and like you truly care for them and they care about you, then like why not, you know? I think yes you can, only if your new partner is okay with it. So because I know for some reason,
really?
Right? So so this is what I'm getting at. So if your new partner, so some girls get really jealous. Some girls are really insecure because
That's
they think other girls are gonna steal you, and they just don't like the competition, which is I really.
How you
like,
feel about that?
I get it to a certain degree, but it's very unhealthy in order to do some stuff like that. Because because like, what if your current partner has guys that's been around and they've really kind of like always been there for her and really always told her straight up to her face that everything was good. I don't understand, like, if there was maybe like, if some of the guys had any intention of like trying to get with her, or
That's
like had like feelings that was like acknowledged and she knows that. Then I feel like that'd be a different story. Then it would kind of be like you kind of have to distance yourself from them. But if it's always been platonic, because we have friends that are there for us, you know what I'm saying? And so if this girl has always been there for you, then you have to talk with your partner. Be like, hey, like, how do you feel about having friends of the opposite sex? Because I've been friends with this person for a long time. And it's all about having dialogue and conversation about boundaries. And so talk to your partner. Yeah. Are you okay with this? Because this person has been around a lot longer than you and they've helped me through everything and I want to keep them around. Like, I'd love to introduce you guys. The best part, you know, the secret is you introduce your friends to your girl.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So if they're not okay with it, then what?
So see this is the tough part, because
now you're forced to make a choice.
I hear you. I went through this with my ex. So my ex was my first official real relationship that I've ever been in, and that ended in June. That was like a 3-month thing, and she came from a very damaged place. A lot of guys treated her badly, cheated, etc., all this stuff. So coming into it, she was already filled with insecurities. I knew this. I proactively did things so she would never have to worry about anybody. And so I literally like went through the extent of like muting girls' like posts, stories on Snapchat. I almost didn't talk to any girls anymore because I knew how she would react to it. And I told her, I'm like, fair. I told her, I'm like, I never wanted you to worry about anything. All of that should have been a first time that was going to be an unhealthy relationship, but it wasn't a very unhealthy relationship. But like, listen, it is what it is now. Like, I went through it, but like, that's what I did proactively so she'd never have to worry. And so she made me cut off my friend, my best friend. That friend right there. Yo, you see that? You see the message? That person right there. That person right there. I had to cut them off because I just did. And so because of that, I told her, okay, you have to cut off your friend, because it's like, I hate double standards. If there's one thing I hate more is double standards within relationships. Yeah. So I'm like, if I'm going to cut off this person, you're going to have to cut off that person. And for some reason, she just had to give me shit about it and be like, oh, why should I cut him off, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you literally made me cut off
me to do the same
my
thing.
Friend that I've known since grade 7. And so you better do the same. And it was full of double standards. But I don't want to talk too much about that relationship.
Fair enough.
But it has to come from a very reasonable and logical place as to why they're saying why you can't have them. If it's simply because they're insecure, that's already paving the way for an unhealthy relationship. Because if they're insecure about you having a best friend that you've known for a while, and even like a childhood friend, that I don't think that relationship's going into any good places, because that's just on the surface. Who knows what other insecurities are there? And maybe you've yet to come to them yet, because maybe you've just gone to this relationship and you vibe with them and you're physically attracted to them, but then you start unlocking all these other things that you just didn't know, and you have to make an executive decision to cut it off or to suffer. And so you should still be able to be friends with them, especially if it was always platonic and you always respected them and they were there for you. You should still be able to be friends with them, and if anything, even connect them with
True,
your with your current relationship, so they can become friends, and that's game over.
Although I will say, I don't know how I feel. At least, okay, I don't know how I feel about connecting some of my like best friends that have been with me for a long time with my significant other, at least in the early stages of a relationship. You know, because
no, I agree with you.
I don't want I got into a situation where exes and like relationships were happening within the friend group, and I don't want any of that. I don't want no. You know, so if I'm in love with a girl and I plan to actually like go forth with this person in life, and actually I have plans to marry this girl,
right.
meet my friends, right, because they're gonna be in my life as much as you are, you know. But if you're nothing serious to me yet, you're not meeting my friends, not at all.
I agree. The only reason why I said the connecting your like your one of your best friends to your friends is like, especially if they're the same sex, like if a girlfriend connecting girls with girls, then they can like, so the jealousy is gone. Okay, I understand for guys, because like even with my ex, I didn't introduce her to my boys. Didn't we? Yeah, we ended up
for
bumping
the whole time
for 3 months, which felt like a year.
Yeah,
I didn't introduce her to anybody.
Okay,
we did run to one of my boys, brief exchange, but that's it. And the only reason why I did that is because there was no reason to mix the two circles together, because I mainly have guy friends, my boys. There's no reason to go on and be like, hey guys, this is my girlfriend. Hey guys, this is my girlfriend, and bring them out places, because I was always with my boys or I was with her. There's literally, I had no reason to. And like, I would understand if she went to my school and she was already friends with like my friends.
That's one
I totally understand. I get it. But in this case, there's no understanding. So I totally agree with you. And what I ended up doing actually is, because one of my other friends, Lauren, she's amazing. She's always been so kind, like helped all of us out with stuff. Oh, also platonic. She's been in a relationship. My girl was starting to get jealous of her because we were having parties at her place. But our parties are like cool. Like, it was just us we're all friends. We're all vibing. There's never any intention for anybody to get with anybody. And I always reassured her, like, too much. And so literally one day, because she always used to feel some type of way about it, I'm like, okay, I will literally introduce you. So one day, I literally brought her to a little gathering I had with my friend Lauren, and two of my other best friends that were girls were there, and we all were together, and she finally got to meet them, and we all drank together, had a good time. And so that was the only case I actually introduced them, because they were the same sex and because there was jealousy involved. None of that should have happened to begin with, because it's very unhealthy, but I just did what I did in the moment to make sure like everybody was going to be happy, and that there was no worrying or anything. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And so, yeah, you don't have to introduce your friends to your partner. What if she? Unless it really does get serious, I understand that. Well, like you said.
What if she wants to meet your guy friends?
My girl wants to meet my guy friends, but I said there was no reason to. So I literally just told her straight up.
So you said no?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna go out of my way. Like, she's like, oh, like I can meet your guy. I'm like, yeah, but there's no reason to. Okay. And she felt some type of way about that. But I said like, hey. Yo, pause this. I need to change the battery now. Yeah, well, this camera uses the same batteries as that camera. Yeah. So I had I think they gave me like 2 batteries for this. Now I have like 4 batteries. Yeah.
Sick. Comes in handy though.
Sure. Just like this. The only problem is storage. Okay, cool. We're back. Yeah. Battery replaced, and now we're back in the action. Where were we?
I just asked you, what if she wants to meet your friends?
So, good question. They can want to meet your friends, but even with my girl, like, she wants to meet her friends, but I just told them, like, there was really no reason to, and she was a little bit salty at first, but then she just didn't care. And so I only chose to introduce her to the friends that were girls because there was that jealousy that was involved. And so once she got to know them, she was okay. So yeah, I just feel it just comes down to just talking to your partner about like, yo, like, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with, and why it makes sense / doesn't make sense, you know? And just really going over those things and your boundaries. And that also comes down to negotiables and non-negotiables. Because even in that moment, I think because we fought every day. Oh yeah, it was tough. It was bad. And her mom would literally come in and like mediate our conversations. Really? Yeah, literally, like, she'd sit down because she never wanted us to fight because she knew how good of a boyfriend I was compared to all the other guys she was with, and so she like, it's almost like her mom put me on a pedestal, which, like, I'll take it. And so so it's like, just knowing that, she came in and she'd be like, okay, she literally let her talk, then let me talk, and let her talk, because she would never listen to me, especially when we were arguing. And so I told her, I'm like, you know, that like I don't think there's a need for her to meet my friends. And her mom literally suggested, why don't you guys write down your negotiables and non-negotiables? We never ended up doing that, but it's a tip I give people, just to even verbally say what your negotiables and non-negotiables are, even before even getting into anything, even like in the stages of getting to know them. It's important to talk about these things, so you guys know what to expect and what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. Okay, and once you know your negotiable, non-negotiables, then you can work your life around that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I agree.
So just to wrap up this whole thing, yes, I think you should be allowed to be friends with the girl of the opposite sex, or the guy. What, like, for all the girls that are listening. Yeah. Assuming it was completely platonic and they've been there for you since day one. If your partner has a problem with it, try to figure out why they have a problem with it and where it's coming from. And once you kind of figure that out, see if you can get them to be comfortable with the idea of it, and see if you can just reassure them that everything's going to be okay. If it still persists, and they're jealous and insecure, then maybe that's not the partner. Maybe that's not the partner you want to be with, because you want somebody that's going to be okay with you having the friends that you've had way before them. And guys, honestly, another tip I'll tell you is that early on, if you commit to somebody and you're talking to them about like future life plans and current goals, and you're just your vision on the whole relationship and negotiables and boundaries, and if you realize early on that you guys are not on the same page and that
you gotta cut it.
Yeah, you can't work out. Cut it early on. Guys, I'm serious. Don't let it carry on. Yeah. It's not going to do any good. You're going to suffer. You're going to be unhappy. And so cut it off. Tell them. And like, obviously don't just block them, but tell them, like, listen, we're not on the same page, and that's okay. But talk about intention and where you see things going very early on, within like a few weeks of knowing them, or even within the first couple of weeks of committing to them, just so you know where everything is. If it's not, don't waste your time, because you guys can be with somebody that actually aligns with you, you know?
I feel you. Yeah, and I think that's on that topic. I did, since we're on the topic of like relationships and friendships, I mentioned that I have been in a situation where like people in my friend group have been in relationships. So I did want to bring this situation to you, get your thoughts on it, you know? So I'll give you the rundown. So I have my friend group. I'm not going to name names, obviously. But so my boy's friend had a girlfriend, right? And my friend group was cool with this girlfriend. She was actually one of our close friends, right? And then what ended up happening, just basically, one of my best friends ended up cheating.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
So, whoa.
So it's a violation of trust, like on all fronts.
Wow. So your boy had a girlfriend that everyone was cool with. Then that same guy cheats on her?
No. So my boy, he had his girlfriend. Okay. We're cool with the girlfriend. Okay. And then another one of my boys ended up
sleeping with that girl?
Pretty much.
Oh
yeah.
First of all, why?
Right?
Why?
Cut that shit.
Like, I would have like.
Oh my god.
All my boys would have gone off on that person.
I mean, one of my boys cut him off. I don't know if I'm cutting it off yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know.
I don't know about like cutting off, because you could take that route if they're kind of like a bad vibe energy to like as a whole.
But that's the thing.
But if it's a like, one-time thing, like you have to go off on that person. It's like you have to tell them, like, are you retarded? You know, like.
Because I try and be there for my friends. I try and be a good friend, right? I try and do what I can do as a friend, which is give them advice when they ask for it, and be there when they need me to be there, right? So the girl, she called me one time. She's like, "Oh, I need to talk to you. Like, I need to tell you what happened." She told me what happened. I was heated, but I think I handled it pretty well. I was like, "Okay, that's fine. It's not gonna happen again. It shouldn't happen again." Break things off with the first friend, obviously. So all that shit happened, right? And then I find out like a few months or like maybe a month or two later, it's still going on. And now they're dating. Now there's a thing. And they want the rest of the people in the friend group to be okay with it. And I'm not. I don't think I could be. So it's a violation of trust. And I think, like, I don't want to cut them off because at the end of the day, these were my friends, you know, like these were my very close friends. I don't make a lot of friends because I'm introverted and I like to stick to my people for the most part, you know? So it did definitely hurt. Like, it hurt everybody. Like, it hurt everybody in the friend group. It's messy. I don't like messy situations. I try to keep out of them myself, and they dragged me into it. You feel me? Like, now I'm in a messy situation I don't want to be in. What do you think? Should do you think
First of all, that guy definitely broke the bro code.
Yeah.
Guys, there's an unwritten rule for all you guys listening right now. You do not go for your bro's girlfriend or relationship, okay? You do not do that unless you have your bro's consent, okay? Yeah. If your bro...
Well, the thing is, they were dating at the time, so it's like, there is no consent.
Which is even worse. Even worse. So it's like, I understand if they broke up and you're like, hey bro, like, is it okay? You know, she's cute, like, I've always, you know?
The thing is, because they did end up breaking up, like the first couple, right? They did end up breaking up, and another friend, not one of my boys, but another friend was talking to her, and he actually messaged that friend. He's like, hey, I know you guys used to date, but I'm seeing something in her right now. Like, what do you think? Can I do this? Let me get your blessing, sort of thing. And my bro was cool with it. You know, he was like, yeah, go for it. We're not dating no more. But it's that violation of trust. Not even asking. Not even. Nah, man. That's messed up.
You have to ask. I'm gonna finish my thoughts on this in a second because this freaking camera decided to run out of space again. So we're gonna take a pause, but like I'm gonna change up a setting and then we'll get back to this and I'll finish my thoughts on this whole thing.
Cool.
Because I really want to film this so we can repurpose it for TikTok and everything and kind of go from there.
Did it get the?
Because I'm gonna I didn't get that last part, but.
Okay.
But like we have audio, which is the most important part. It's on record, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna film 4K anymore. Alrighty, we're finally back after 10-15 minutes. I was trying to offload this freaking SD card. We're back. I'm recording at a lower quality, so hopefully that means we can squeeze some more footage time in here, video time, and not get interrupted again for hopefully the next 30 minutes or so. Anyways, where were we?
The situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's so messed up. Just like, I'd really just want to talk to that guy and be like, yo, like, what was your reasoning behind doing the certain things? Like, what was your intention? Like, if we're all boys, like, what made you feel like you need to go against your own bro, and literally go for his girl? Because we all know that on the inside, he knew it was wrong.
No,
everybody knows, you know?
It's a conscious decision.
Absolutely. And like, my other question would be for the girl too, and being like, yo, like, that's how you know, and as I don't know the specifics of the whole situation, but based on what you told me, it's almost like it seemed like that girl wasn't loyal and didn't truly love her boyfriend.
So do you think, because then you get into a sort of argument, like, do you think that, like, if you truly love somebody, you don't think you could cheat on them, like,
Absolutely.
no matter what?
Absolutely.
All right.
And I know that because of like that other girl I was talking about, like way back the long distance one. We'll get into long distance relationships.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, I could never imagine. Of course, there are other guys. You have to understand. There's always gonna be people that are better looking than your partner and yourself. Always. It's always gonna be like that. Like, you might love and appreciate and think your partner is sexy and amazing, and they probably are, but people always look towards something that they don't have in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Something better.
Right. And of course, there's gonna be like all other people are gonna be attractive, but it's not like on the inside, oh, like, I'm gonna act on this. No, like, that thought almost never crosses your mind because you're in a loving relationship, and it's almost like just people walking by because there's attractive people all around you. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, no, if you truly love somebody, you would, like, you want to stick with them and be loyal to them. Unless, of course, the love falls apart and you start to lose interest. In that case, you talk about what's happening, you come to a mutual end, and you move on and find other people out that's better suited. So yes,
don't make it messy.
That's how I know that it's almost like that girl didn't truly love, and I think it's just, and the thought I was just saying too is, it's almost like because that one guy decided to cheat or make literally his bro's girl cheat. It's almost like that's kind of telling me something about the guy. Like, it's almost like if we're all bros, we should all be loyal and respect each other. It's almost like that whole situation is foreshadowing to me that guy has bad intentions or is possibly bad vibes or bad energy, and I would never want to associate myself with that, and I wouldn't want anybody to associate with people like that. And so it's almost like it's kind of like signs that I shouldn't be around this person. You know, if they're actually going to go to the extent of disrespecting my boy and, you know, and engaging in some behavior like that.
I feel you, and I do kind of, I don't live by this, but I do keep it in my head quite a bit. Like, you are who you hang around. To an extent, of course. Like, who you surround yourself with, or like, I think the saying is like, the 5 most important people in your life, like, that impacts your personality in a big way, right? So if I have somebody in my life who is doing things like cheating and just doing disloyal shit in general, it's like, I can't have somebody in my life who does that, because that means I'm allowing that to influence me, you know? And it you could say that it might be like a conscious decision. Like, no, you don't, just because you have somebody in your life who's cheating doesn't mean you're going to cheat. It's a conscious decision, but it's a subconscious thing as well. Who you are around impacts who you are. You feel me? So I definitely agree with you. I don't know what I'm going to do in this situation. I still haven't talked to them, but I definitely was not cool with it, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I don't think anybody would be cool with it. And like, if anything, like if I were in that situation, I'm not saying you should take this advice or do what I'm about to say, but if I was in that situation, I'd want to talk to that guy and be like, yo, like kind of figure out why he did what he did and understand the whole situation. And once I understand where all of this came from, I probably still won't agree with it, but
no,
it's
not
still
at all.
good to at least empathize and at least see where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I try and empathize. That is what I try and do.
It's tough when it comes down to infidelity.
Yeah.
It's tough. But it's more of like trying to get their reasoning as to why.
Try and get their reasoning and try and...
I would also want to figure out if this is a person I would want to be around. So my next step would be like, yo, like if I've noticed his behavior in the past and if I think like this is the trajectory. Anyways, that he's going in and he's becoming a bad person with bad vibes, then I know to start to distance myself or even cut him off. So that'd be my next step, trying to figure out if I want to be around this person. You know? Because as you said, who you surround yourself with is everything.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess that's that topic. Let me see. What else?
And like, and just to touch upon what, and like, because Omar's looking up on some questions right now that he had on his phone, but just so I can touch upon a few things when it comes to surrounding yourself with the right people, it's everything. Because people will take you places. They just will. And so knowing people and just having good connections with people is important, but especially who's in your inner circle will influence you more than almost anybody else, really. Because if you have people that are successful or want to do big things and have ambition and have goals and have things they're working towards and are loyal and are just straight up authentic people, you're going to mold into a person like that, and it just helps uplift you. And so if you're surrounded by good intent people, good vibes, good energy, you're set. And even if, like, let's say if they're the type of people where, like, maybe they're not the most ambitious, but they're just a really good friend, they're always there for you and the good vibes and good energy, and they're not bringing you down anyway or suppressing you from reaching new heights, they are still good to have in your life. So, guys, please keep your ears and eyes open for certain behavior of people that are around you and make decisions wisely, because it will affect the path you go down and it will affect your outlook on life. And if all your friends are bad, just distance yourself from them. And in some cases, you may not be able to cut off certain people, but you can distance yourself and just focus on yourself and do what you got to do. It's so easy to say no to going out. It's easy to say no to everything. Just focus on yourself and do what you got to do.
Just be comfortable with being by yourself. Absolutely. I feel like that's important. But I want to talk about next. You know what? Yeah. I don't even know why I stopped. The audio's still rolling. I want to talk about next religion.
Ooh.
Yes. I want to talk about religion.
Wait, so are we done with the whole relationship topic? Because I don't know if I want to, just so we can like.
Oh, you have more thoughts?
I don't know. Just if there's any like last things that like come to mind. Oh, do you want to quickly touch upon long distance relationships?
Oh yeah. You did say you wanted that.
So,
yeah. Let's get into long.
Here are my thoughts on long distance relationship. I'll start the conversation. You can let me know what you think, and we can kind of just go back and forth. So, I believe they are possible. A lot of people say they aren't, and the only reason why I beg to differ is because I was in one. I mean, we never fully committed to each other, we never fully said, oh, will you be my girl, will you be my girlfriend / boyfriend, because during that phase it was all long distance. We were never with each other, and I wish I would have done it in person type of thing, you know. But it never got to that point because of certain complications with a certain particular family member that just didn't give me the opportunity to be the guy that I am in her life. We'll leave it at that. I think it's a very professional way and a very polite way of saying that this individual caused us to break up. So it had nothing to do with her. I loved her. She loved me. It was all good. But the only reason why I say that is because when you truly love somebody, when you truly care for that person, distance won't stop you. It won't.
Really? Okay.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify. Yes, I know. You can truly love somebody, but if you know that you need to be there with them in person and like you're really into physical touch and you need to be present with them in order to have a fulfilling and happy relationship, then long distance won't work for you, even if you love the person.
No.
But if you know that you can wait it out, and that for you, that you know you can do long distance, like, you know, you FaceTime every single day and keep in touch, then yeah, it can definitely work. So it can work if both partners are committed to a long distance relationship and both are very loyal and honest and have great communication and just talk about how their lives are going and just always keeping in contact every single day via FaceTime, and like, but also like not overly talking to each other every single second during the day, because you need space.
Yeah, I saw somebody was saying this, I don't know who, but they were like, I don't want to be texting my significant other like every second of the day. Like, leave stuff for when you come home. Obviously it's a long distance, but like leave stuff for when you come home so that you could talk in person about that stuff. And my thoughts on this long distance relationship thing is that I think it can work in certain situations, but I do think it's hard, you know.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I think it's very, very hard. And I think you said something that made me think about like love languages and all that. Like, if your love language is like communication, you're set. You know, if your both of your love languages are communication, you could be set. But like you said, physical touch, I don't think that's really gonna work. Like, you can only do so much at that point. You know, I think there are situations where you kind of like gotta cut your losses and be like, realistically, this isn't going to work because of my values and what I need for in a relationship. Sorry. What I need in a relationship. And like, for some people, it's just not going to work long distance because they need that physical touch, or they need to see their significant other doing certain things. Or maybe it's a trust thing. Maybe you don't trust your partner to be like thousands of miles apart, you know? Like,
I think that comes down to an insecurity issue, though.
It's insecurity.
I think
if you
that's
don't
an insecurity.
Trust them?
Yeah, that's an insecurity issue. I don't think that has to do with long distance, because that has to do with you and how much you trust your partner. Because you might have insecurities from the past that's making you not trust your partner. Mm-hmm. So yeah, sorry, go on. I just have to interrupt because like I think that's important to touch upon. I think that's an insecurity issue, if anything.
That is. Yeah, but other than that, I think it can work if you have the right people, basically, I think is what I'm saying. So
two people that are fully committed to making it work.
Yeah, you know, and you do need like a lot of communication. You need to have a mutual understanding of like what we're going to be doing. Like, how often are we going to be coming into contact? Is it FaceTime every day, FaceTime every other day? Like, is things going to work? When are we going to meet up? You know, set boundaries. What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do? Because, you know, I can't see you. So I think it's fine to be like, listen, I don't want you going to any parties where you know something could happen. Like, that's reasonable, you know? But if you were to say like, I don't want you to go into any bars, that's a bit much, you know? So it's like, you do just need to talk that stuff out and come to a mutual agreement. And if you can't, then it's not going to work.
Yeah. And so establish boundaries. Once again, talking about negotiables, you need to actually be one of those people that can actually communicate well and your feelings and everything, because that's important. That's all you have. Because there's really, it's hard to read body language through like FaceTime.
Yes,
you can. I mean, you can. But there's something different about vibes and energy when you're with them in person. That's what I'm trying to get at. And so, yeah, so it can work if both people are committed. I like, even for myself, my two love languages are physical touch and quality time. So I want to be able to cuddle with a person and actually hug them and be intimate and all that good stuff. I'm heavy into that.
So you physical touch like for love languages? Is that
correct?
What you said?
So physical touch and quality time. So those are my two love languages. Because I want to be present with the person and have their attention. Like be present, not like you go on your phone and all this BS. Like, be with me in this moment. Let's do things together. Sure. Let's be cute. Let's hug. Let's cuddle. Let's watch movies. You know, all that good stuff, right? right? So even knowing my love languages, I was still able to make a long distance relationship work because the love was strong for me. And I knew that like I was gonna go back to Ohio because like she lived in Ohio and my dad lived in Ohio, and that it was coming up. So I knew that I was gonna eventually go back.
For sure.
And since our connection was so strong, I didn't mind.
Okay.
Because I was just doing my own thing anyways.
Yeah.
And so I knew that like at the end of the night we'd still talk. I'd still be coming to Ohio in July or December, and I would still see her, and we were both that loyal, committed, honest, open, communicative type. Like that's just the way we were. And so, yes, it can work, and no, it can't work depending on who you are and who your partner is.
Yeah, personally, I don't think I could, but the only reason I'm saying that is because personally, I've never been in love. Like I've never fallen deep in love with a girl ever. So I really don't know how that feels. I don't know how strong those feelings are, and if I'd be willing if I did. But right now where I'm at, no, I couldn't. Just I need to be in the same room as you. You know, it's just that sort of vibe.
And that's okay. And it's good that you're self-aware enough to know that. So if you do get into a relationship, you can, or if you meet someone who's long distance or whatever, and you for some reason you guys end up talking, they end up falling for you or whatever, be like, I can't. And that's okay, guys. That's completely okay. There's nothing wrong not being able to do that. You just have to communicate that with your partner and not lead them on thinking that you can when you can't. And so I know this happened with like one of my other friends. Like her and this guy were together for a few months during high school, but he was going to Montreal and he knew he couldn't make it work. And he told her straight up, like, I'm not going to be able to make this work. And he was actually open about it. And I respect him for that.
For sure. That's admirable.
He was open with his intention, you know? And so when he moved, they ended up breaking it off, and that's that.
Shit doesn't work out. Maybe they meet each other at some other point in life, you know, and then you can make something work. But in the moment, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know?
Absolutely. So there you go. That's that for long distance relationships. It's possible.
Yeah.
You want to get some of your other questions or what?
Yeah. Religion. So first of all, what do you believe?
Good question. I'm agnostic.
You're agnostic.
I'm agnostic.
Me too.
I'm agnostic.
Me too. Okay, this is gonna. Well, were you agnostic? Like, what were you when you were a kid?
Agnostic.
Agnostic? Like from jump?
So no one has ever been like that religious in my family. So if I were religious, my dad's side's Christian, my mom's side's Muslim. Because I'm fully Bosnian. That's my background. Bosnia is separated, half Christians, half Muslims. But my dad, agnostic, mom agnostic. We don't believe. We just don't. I mean, and I never grew up in that household. Yeah, my mom sometimes like pretends. I wouldn't say pretend, because back home people are slightly more on the religious side, just slightly, not like overly religious.
No, okay.
So my mom will sometimes respect certain things, but in the house, like nothing was religious with my dad or with my mom, and so that's how I grew up. And don't get me wrong, guys. When I say this, I love religion. I respect it. I love the traditions. I think it's amazing, and it brings people together. There's a lot of positives to it. And so like I know I went to church with my friend a couple of times on Sundays.
Oh, yeah?
Really? I like the messages. Obviously, I don't subscribe to the whole Christian side of things, but I love the life messages that they give, because it's literally what we talk about. Like they talk about relationships and career and goals, and like I love that aspect of it. And I love that people get together, you know. And same thing with Islam, same thing. So it's like I respect it all. I love it. It's just I understand why people believe, and I understand the whole concept behind it. I have my own theory as to why religion came to play, but it's very controversial that I'm not going to talk about on this podcast, because we can talk about off the podcast, because it to some they find it very disrespectful. So I have my own theory on it, but I don't get me wrong, guys. I love it. I truly do. I love traditions. I love the people in it. The only thing I don't like is when people try and force it down my throat. Don't come at me saying all this BS about like you need to believe, blah 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 blah. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I respect you, but don't be shoving your shit down my throat. Okay? Go respect yourself. I will come with you. I'll celebrate with you, but don't, please. You know?
I feel you.
That's where it crosses the line. Like those Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. Like, I don't know why that even exists.
No, it's...
If people want to believe, let them believe.
It's a bit much,
But don't try to like...
It needs to be a choice, you know?
Yeah. It's always bad when it's forced. Yeah. Let kids choose. That's why even when I raise my kids, if they want to believe...
You can believe.
I'm not like... You can believe. I'm not going to like shit on you for it. Go believe. But I'm not going to start off out the gate making them believe or not believe. It's just gonna be the way of life, you know.
Yeah,
They can know what my opinion is on it,
for sure.
but I'm not gonna be trying to force them or like try to force the opinion down them
or
or tell them
like
my
try
opinion.
and nudge them.
Yeah, just like the way we are right now. I'm gonna tell them this is my opinion and leave it at that.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, me, I was raised in like a Christian house, though I'm agnostic now, right? And I just like my journey with religion. I don't know. I never really believed. Like, I felt like as a kid, once I'm older, I'll understand why so many people are like so into this and why so many people have faith in something that they can't see, can't feel, that sort of thing, you know? But it never really came to me, and God never really spoke to me like that. So it's like, I did a lot of deep thinking, and I was like, I don't know what's real. I don't know what's not. I can't come to a conclusion. I'm not going to deny the existence of a God, but with Christianity, there's certain things that I agree with because, like, certain lessons, I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that. Like, love thy neighbor, that makes sense, you know? But then there's also certain things where they say that, let's say, like, God loves you and that sort of stuff, right? And there were certain things, like, in high school, I was thinking, like this omniscient being, which is supposed to be, like, all-powerful, omniscient, can do whatever, right? Racism, the Holocaust, like, all that stuff happened, and he's letting it happen. That's the sort of thoughts I was having in high school, but I just couldn't come to a conclusion. So that's why I'm agnostic now. But really, the only reason I wanted to get your thoughts on religion is because upstairs in my room, I have 2 earrings with crosses on it. And would you consider that like cultural appropriation?
Define it again.
So I have earrings, and there's like a cross for style. Okay. I'm agnostic. I'm not Christian.
I think that's sick.
That's kind of sick. It looks cool, but
I think it does look cool, actually.
It does look cool, right? I have one that's like kind of like short on one of these earrings, and then I have like another hoop earring where it like kind of hangs. I think it's pretty cool, but I have stopped wearing it recently because I haven't come to a conclusion yet. I'm not gonna wear it until I come to a conclusion. Is it okay for me to wear a cross, which is a symbol of Christianity, of course? Like, is that okay?
Since you don't necessarily believe.
Since I don't necessarily believe. Exactly.
Good question. I think it is okay.
You think?
Also, I think it's okay because, like, you're not shitting on the religion. You're not talking bad about it. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean like you can't rep something that looks cool. Because, like, to even other Christians, it might just be like, okay, cool. Like, you're just like, you're repping our religion. I think if the Christians that are out there looking at it from a positive perspective, they'll be like, cool, you get to rep our religion and you respect our religion even if you don't believe, but we still love you. And so I'm glad that you're repping something that we rep because we have something kind of in common. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad. But the pessimists and the negative Christians, which I hate because there's many of them out there, and they decide to shit on people that aren't religious, they'll be like, why are you repping something that you don't believe in? I think you just have to come at it from a positive perspective. So coming from a positive perspective, I think it's absolutely okay. I think it's a cool fashion like statement, and you get to like just rep something that other people are repping. You know.
All right. Well. Because I do agree with that. Like, I agree with everything you're saying.
Because it's not like it's coming from bad intent.
Yeah, exactly.
It all comes from intent as well. Like, it's coming from good intent. So, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't have any ill intent towards, like, Christians. Like, I was raised in a Christian house, right? So, I feel no way about wearing it. But I also do think that, like, I don't know, if somebody is repping something that like, I partake in, right? And they don't actually take the steps to partake in that, but they're wearing the symbol, I could see how people might get a bit set off from that. So I'm like, basically, I'm asking, like, do you guys have a valid point here? Like, is this making sense? Or, like, am I being insensitive? Or are you guys getting a bit too much, you know?
I think they're getting a little too much. Yeah. Like, they're letting it bother them for no reason. Yeah. I mean...
Honestly, they wouldn't even be able to tell if I'm Christian or not, really.
Yeah, no, that too. So it's like, one, they wouldn't be able to know.
Yeah.
2, they'll be like, oh, cool, he's repping Christianity. Cool, awesome. That's probably what's going to be left at, you know, unless you start digressing into stuff. It all comes down to intent, man. That's all I can say. I mean, like I'm trying to give like another good example. Like I'm just thinking. Like yeah, I don't know. Nothing's really coming to mind because like all the examples I'm trying to give are just like stupid stuff. Like, oh, like you might own a certain car, but you're not like a big car person. It's like
okay.
I don't know. It's little stupid things where it's like, yeah, you might rep something because it's cool,
but you're not actually about it.
But yeah, but you're not like too about it. But like you're just indifferent about it. But you respect it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you're just
I feel you.
It comes down to intent and perspective on the whole thing. I think it's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Okay.
I mean, it's like I think like one day like I was like I thought it would be cool to get like a chain and like it says like Allah. I don't know why I thought that look cool, and I'm not even religious like that. I just thought it would look cool. I never gone through it, but I thought about it and I'm like, that would be interesting. You know? And like even like those like a lot of people like those chains with the crosses.
Yeah, they do.
Even that looks cool.
I used to have one and I lost it, but I used to wear it and it didn't really mean anything to me, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I really don't think there's anything wrong with that in my view at least.
And I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about religion. I know you're agnostic, but how do you feel about the afterlife?
Good question. Very good question. I'll give you a small taste into my theory because afterlife plays a role into it. I think another big contributing factor as to why people believe is because they don't know what comes in the afterlife. Because they want a will to live and they want to know that there's something after we pass and that there's more to live for, you know what I'm saying? And that if we do good things that we're going to end up in a good place and live like almost like a whole nother life with like peace and prosperity and love and all this stuff. And so it's scary to think that there's nothing after this. And even for myself, I don't really know. Like it scares me to think about that coming from an agnostic point of view that there's nothing after this.
Really?
You know, and so it scares me because it just makes me want to do things now. It makes me want to live my life now and do the things that makes me happy and surround myself with good people and all this stuff before my time has come. And so it's more of like a motivating factor, if anything, because it scares me. But I can see why people may believe in religion for that aspect because it's so scary. They want to know that there's something more.
Like personally, the way I thought about the afterlife, I don't like the concept of it. I kind of like you. I see death as a sort of motivator, where it's like what makes life so valuable to me, at least, is that I don't believe in the afterlife. So what makes life valuable is that there is no afterlife for me. So that's why I need to make the most of my life now. Because I'm living now. I don't like life eternal. To me, is a bit I don't want to live forever. You know, I like having a start of my life, an end to my life. I don't need life everlasting. I'm content with this. I'm content with just living life and dying wherever I die. You know, doesn't really matter to me. I'm not scared of what comes after. I just. Whatever happens, you know, I'm fine with it.
I'm with you, bro. And like, if something were to happen, hey, we ain't complaining.
It's life.
We ain't complaining.
It's life. It happens, man.
If we get reborn and we're somewhere, cool. But
it's kind of cool.
We're just gonna see what's gonna have to happen once our time comes.
Although, like, I will say, so you said if you did believe in a religion, it would be probably like Christian, Muslim. No,
honestly, I wouldn't believe to begin with. But I'm just saying, like, if I was forced into religion, it'd be one or the other because half and half. And who knows which side would have pulled more. So, I don't know. I think the reason why my mom and dad were together to begin with, or the reason why it also worked out, is because, like, they weren't religious like that. I mean, they probably did love each other at one point. Yeah. Because they were together for a few years. But religion obviously didn't play a factor. And back home, it's unfortunate, but it plays a big role in certain things. And it's like people are like sometimes like too traditional, where it's like, oh, like if you're Muslim you can't date a Christian and like and all this extra stuff and like all these traditional people. And then some of them, I'm not saying all of them, some of them are like still racist and have like traditional ways. It sucks big time. And even like my mom and dad, like all the Bosnians that came here, most of them are starting to become more progressive. And we hate people like that because we just want everyone to be inclusive and want good vibes and good energy and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah.
I've done a bit of reading, but I don't believe in this religion, of course, because I'm agnostic, but I do like the teachings of Buddhism. I've gotten a bit into Buddhism, and the reason I got into Buddhism is anime, because it's in that a lot. But checking out their teachings and like their way of life, it's like what was it? It's just like a whole. It's all centered around sort of like sacrifice and like just like giving yourself up to the kind of like, I forget, but really good teachings in Buddhism, and I really like agree with the sort of way they live their life. So I am not Buddhist. I'm not Buddhist, but I choose to live my life in that sort of way, sort of thing. You know,
subscribe to their way of living.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool because, as I said, there are good things in religion. Like you said, you can follow the certain life rules that they have and life things to live by. Completely cool, but it doesn't mean you're religious.
For sure.
Because there's a lot of good things even within the Bible, like a lot of good lessons, or in Buddhism and so.
I will say, I haven't read up enough on like religion as a whole to be like, I don't believe in every single one of these. It's just I don't care to go out and learn more about it, because I'm content the way I am now. If I do want to read about it, I will. So it's just that simple. But
I think that's fair, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. And to each their own. To anybody that's religious,
Yeah, for sure.
Keep doing you. Keep believing.
Do what works for you.
Exactly. And what makes you happy. That's the most important. If that's going to make you happy and bring your life fulfillment and satisfaction, great. But I also don't agree that if you're a parent that you should force it on your kids either.
Well, actually...
you can introduce them to it.
You can
but
introduce them.
Tell them what it's about. And tell them this is what mommy or daddy's doing. I'm going to church. This is what we subscribe to. And leave it up to them. If you want to come with us and believe, cool. If not, that's okay too.
I agree. Well, like... Because being somebody who like was raised in a Christian household, and I did have to like go to church with my my dad wasn't really there, but like my mom she'd take me to church, right? And I remember like we have to do a confirmation in grade 8, right? Did you have to do that in grade 8? No.
Wait, what?
Like confirmation, where I guess you wouldn't if you were agnostic. Basically, it's like they basically make you choose to believe in whatever religion, So yeah,
why
they
make you so messed up?
It's weird because it really is weird because they make you choose. They make you choose to believe in the religion they have. Like you get a sponsor and everything, but it's like it's really not your choice because everybody's telling you this is what you need to do. So I remember thinking in grade 8, like, this isn't my choice. Like, why am I don't believe in Christianity. I know deep down I don't believe in this, so I feel like it is a sort of thing where I feel like it's good to introduce your kid to certain religions to implement some values in them.
From a value perspective, yes.
For a value perspective, yes, but other than that, I agree, you shouldn't really force them into believing anything that they don't already believe, Yeah. But, so that's all on religion. Any more thoughts?
I think that's about it. So, yeah, I think we covered like a good...
Yeah, that was a good chunk.
We covered a good chunk of religion. I think it pretty much sums up.
Well, next, I have something that we actually disagreed on. All right, so I saw a post. That you made. Well, we disagree. I say disagree
one
with
thing. Yeah, can I preface it before we get into that? Because first of all, when it comes to any of my videos, guys, first of all, just remember I'm not a professional. This is all based on my opinion and my experience, and just what I think is the right thing to do, based on where I am in my life right now. All that's subject to change. I am able to change my mind. Everybody is. So for anybody that's listening, I'm glad that most of you guys agree with my way of thinking and my way of living. Not all of you will, and that's okay. But also another thing, I can't go into depth about certain things and talk about the little nuances of everything because I only have 1 minute to talk about everything. So guys, just keep that in mind. When I talk about, I'm trying to sum everything up, and I understand that there's so many different situations and scenarios that things can happen, and there's different ways of going about it. And so I might make a video on something about relationships on a specific thing, but there might be other situations that doesn't apply. So guys, just keep that in mind. And and I know for sure I'm gonna post this on TikTok because I need my audience to know this. Okay, guys, I'm not a professional. All this is my opinion based on what I think is right, and I can't always talk about the little nuances of everything. So if you guys ever have any questions about anything I said in the video, or want to know more about anything, or want to know more about specific situations or specifics, or want to ask me to clarify or explain, or want to change my mind on something, please, don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I'm sure you're about to do that right now. And so, guys, please feel free. Guys, I'm always open to opinions and other ways of, living life and viewing things. And if we can come to an agreement on something that just makes sense, I'm all for it. And I might even change my way of thinking about something, because I don't fully understand it, I only understand from one perspective and not the other perspective. And so, guys, just please ask me for clarification, for little nuances. Or if you want help with your specific situation, I'll then reach out to me and actually tell me your situation. I'll be able to help you on your situation and give you specific advice, Anyways, go on, let's hear it.
So I saw a post you made about moral obligation to followers. And I do agree on some extent, I will say. So basically, let me just tell the people, because you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So actually, why don't you say it?
Yeah, so the other day, I'll explain what I said in the 1 minute video. I released a video the other day that says, if you are a content creator and you are making content for other people to view and to like and to comment and to share, you're just making it for an audience and trying to build a community, you now have a moral obligation to respond to comments, to answer your DMs, and interact with your community, because you're trying to build one. Because that's what the whole intention of putting out content is, other than doing it for yourself, because you're trying to build a community, you want people to relate to it, and if people are commenting, you want to be able to show love back. That's what I believe, if you sign up to be a content creator.
Okay.
Because I think you shouldn't, if you're a content creator, you're not only just posting content, you're doing it for others. You're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for others. And so now that others are involved, you have to care for the people that care about your work. And so on one translation, you have to show love back to the people that are showing you love for the stuff that you're putting out. So that's why I say you have a moral obligation to not ignore these people and to acknowledge them as actual human beings, because they're there and taking time out of their day to watch you either on live, oh, you amazing people right now, or to comment and engage on my posts and all this stuff. And so for me not to say anything or to reply back or to or not do any of that, it's kind of just you know what, I'm just doing it just to do it, and I don't really care about any of you guys.
Okay, well, I do agree with, I keep moving my mic away. I do agree with most of the things you're saying. I mean, pretty much everything you're saying. I just personally I do like to interact with my followers and everybody who comments, But and this might just because the type of content you do is more suited to that sort of thing, where it's you're talking about life problems, right? Whereas I'm talking about anime. So when I talk about anime and somebody gives an opinion that is just do I need to respond to this? It's okay, let me give an example.
And while you think of the example, if anything, I totally understand where you're coming from. My type of content is really open to any kind of comments, because I'm talking about life in general. But even if you're creating content the way you do, kind of around something that you can't really engage in dialogue or you can't really respond in a certain way, my message I'm trying to say to you guys is to at least acknowledge these people. So their comment and at least be hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving your opinion. I totally agree, or I disagree for X, Y, and Z. And you can leave it at that. But all I'm saying is don't ignore these people and don't answer them, and just let it be. That's kind of where I'm at. So even if it's I appreciate your comment, thank you so much, and the comment, that's all I'm asking. Okay. To acknowledge the people that are there.
Well, I acknowledge and the way I see acknowledgement is, if I like your comment, I saw it, I took it into consideration, the only comments I do ignore, and I actively ignore, are ones that are either trolls. I don't interact with trolls at all, because it's just, once you feed into it, it becomes worse.
Yeah, that's different.
I get it. Either trolls or people trying to bring negativity, that sort of thing. But usually I will like things if I have something to add to what you said. That's when I'm gonna actually start typing, because I don't usually have or it definitely depends. It's a case-by-case basis. But usually, on average, I don't have much to add, because I'm not good at texting, which that's actually something else we could talk about really quickly. But I don't usually, or I do respond to a lot of comments of the OGs, my OGs, who people who've been there, who are giving my their opinions, who are in my Discord. I interact with them because they really support me. Other people who comment and it's nothing that I could add to. I like it. I've seen it. I take it into consideration. I do, But if there's nothing I can add, I don't want to regurgitate. I don't want to just say something to say something. I want anything I say to somebody, I want it to be meaningful in the slightest, But just on another topic of me not liking texting, I noticed we were talking, and for the first time, this opened my eyes. So the first time I met Ben, online, of course, he started using voice memos or voice messages. I've never done that in my life. And it opened a whole new realm of possibilities. I was like, this is so much easier. I can really understand what he's saying, leaving less up into interpretation. And now I do it with other people. I do it with my sister. I do it with my friends. I don't know why I'd never done that. It's so simple. It's so much better than just text.
I'm starting a wave. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
The reason why I stopped texting is because I can put in the time to type in paragraphs. I can. But as I like to say also is that you can never talk about serious things or problems over text. That's to begin with. So never actually call the person or call the person or be with them in person and have that conversation. Exactly. Yeah. But then even on top of that, I hate texting.
Me too.
Okay. I like texting, but I hate it at the same. I hate it when it comes to longer conversations. Just call me, please. I'd rather see you and talk to you. Yeah. If not, the next best thing is voice memos. It's so much easier. I click voice memo. Yo, brother, I'm just working on this. I can say 1,000 things within a 1 minute voice memo than I can within a paragraph. And you can understand
the tone,
how I'm saying it, my intention behind it.
It leaves less up to interpretation, which is my biggest thing with text, because what I don't like in text is that how I am saying it in my head and putting it into words on my phone or whatever, that's not necessarily how you're going to take it. So you might read it with the voice in your head and it could come across as an entirely different thought, I don't like leaving that much up to interpretation, so I don't like texting. It's hard for me to interact when I don't know exactly what the other person is like, what their vibe is,
Exactly. And I started doing on Snapchat, text messages, everything. One day, I forgot someone first sent me a text message. I don't know who it was. I can't remember who. Someone sent a voice message. And I'm like, why don't I send voice messages? Because I realized it was so much easier. Exactly. And so literally to any of you guys that reach out to me on Snap and Instagram, I only send voice memos unless I have a quick 1-2 thing to say on text. But literally, Instagram DMs, voice memo. Snapchat, voice memos. iMessage, voice memos. Literally, it's all voice memos now. Yeah. So, guys, hop on the bandwagon. It's not even bandwagon. It's the best way to communicate. If you can't FaceTime them or call them, send voice memos, because I promise you will definitely get your message across, and it'll be just interpreted so much better, and you can say a lot more, and you can just sit there and redo your take if you wanted to.
Exactly, you can redo the takes.
You can redo the take.
It's the best.
It's guys, it's amazing. It truly is. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. And we're putting you guys on voice memos right now. You heard it here first, guys. I'm telling you, it's the way to go.
Yeah. And something. Oh, okay. Here's a question. What do you do when you want to recharge? And I'll explain what I mean by this. For me, this is in my downtime, what I like to do to get my mind off things, recharge, whatever the case may be. I like to go on rides. I have a few spots I go to, I go do my little video stuff, I was saying. And sometimes I'll call people while I'm on my rides, but most of the times I'm just chilling by myself, doing my own thing. What do you do when you want to take your mind off things, when you want to recharge?
Good question. So for me personally, usually if I just want to chill, most of the time it's calling people.
Calling people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wherever?
Yeah, I'll just FaceTime people. Usually if I want to recharge at home, I'll just either scroll through TikTok.
You're really an extrovert. You like reaching out to people and interacting with them.
Other than watching TikToks and going on YouTube while I'm eating and stuff like that. I just like talking to people. If I can talk to somebody all day, I could. I would and I could, but it's not feasible and I have stuff to do, all this stuff, So I could talk to someone all day, just like the way we're sitting here. I can sit this all day. We can just talk, And so that's one thing I love doing, just FaceTiming people if they're free. talking about life, chilling out, having a good time. Assuming it's not like related to anything like business related or something. It's just leisurely talks. I like going for walks. Walks are really nice if I just want to get out the house to myself, listen to music, walk my dog. I'm a big golfer.
I saw.
And so I used to play competitive for 8 years.
Golf, really?
Yeah, competitive.
Golf.
But then like I just wasn't consistently getting the results I needed to get a scholarship. So I ended up retiring, hung up my jersey.
You still play though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
still do.
kinda
So
cool.
I'll hit the range.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to go to the range because it's open now. So that kind of helps me get my mind off things, just relax, hit balls for an hour. So those are a couple things. Or like I'll play some games. Like if I want to hop on COD, run some Warzone or something, that's fun too. Or even like, to be honest, like if I'm on a good mood and like I just want to get away from doing music, sometimes the live is actually such a good way just to like recharge. Like as much like, because these guys, all you guys who are listening right now, first of all, I love you guys. You guys are all amazing for tuning in and listening to this amazing podcast and just being here and interacting and just showing your love and support. So I appreciate all you guys. And they actually feed into the energy.
Yeah.
They low-key do. Because like when
People
I go live, like
reciprocate.
it's like when I go live, I want to stay. Like one of the first times I ever went live, I went live for 6.5 hours.
I feel you.
Yeah, and so I always go live for minimum 3 hours now, and they just feed into it. So sometimes that actually, in a weird way, helps me get my mind off things, but it can also like get to a point where I get tired sometimes.
Yeah.
Where like I just need time just to like, relax and turn off the phone. And so those are a few of the leisure things. Oh, and chill with my boys, of course. So just being able to like chill. Like if I came here and we're just hanging out or seeing my other friend, those are all things that are just like relaxing other than the actual stuff I have to do, you know? So a few things here and there, you know what I'm saying? It really just comes down to doing the thing that you like doing.
Yeah,
You know?
I do need to do what like I noticed that I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I don't know. Oh, dude, your phone's gonna die. Should I go get a charger? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I like to, or I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And when it comes to relationships, I don't know that that like, because being in a relationship that kind of infringes upon that way of thinking. Like I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. It doesn't mean that I want to go and like mess with a bunch of other girls. It means like, if I don't want to go out, or if I don't want to talk on the phone, or if I don't want to text you, interact with you, if I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, you know? And I like having the freedom to choose exactly what I want to do at any given moment. So I kind of like the single life where I'm at right now. Although, I mean, like, having a lady would be nice.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, because I know we're I just want to segue into, not even segue, but touch upon what you just said when relationships. I feel like, oh man, relationships, eh? Like, there's so much to talk about. But I feel like that's kind of one thing that scares me now. Like in finding a partner where it's like, I truly am the type of guy that's like emotional within relationships and like want to have a long-term partner and want them to be loyal and just be like, just really do things for each other and just get emotional and physical and all this stuff, right? But there's a part of me that's like, it kind of just scares me where it's like, after the stuff I kind of went through in my last relationship, you know, I'm more wary of, you know, finding someone that still allows me to do what I got to do, whether it comes down to my businesses and doing TikTok and just being able to have time with myself and respecting that, you know? So it's kind of just made me more aware of like what I want in my next person, you know? Like I want a loving person, but also let's be able to do our own things when we want and like not feel like our relationship is a chore.
Yeah, I think I came across this video on TikTok. I don't know who did it, but it is something that I'm going to use in my next relationship or whatever. Like, if you're living with somebody, like, this is obviously serious relationship stuff, but like, if you're living with somebody, have something in your house that is completely yours, that your partner just
I've heard that.
can't touch.
I swear we've seen the same video.
You know, I think we did, because it's like, and it makes sense. Like, when I look at like my dad and my mom, my dad has his den downstairs. Oh, I didn't show you downstairs. You gotta see downstairs
afterwards. Gonna go crazy, like a little like man cave.
You gotta see it, yeah. But like he has like his own den downstairs. That's his place. That's his safe place. You know, we're not supposed to go in there. Well, we do, but like not frequently.
I know,
right?
I know. You have to let
For me, I started making my safe place my studio upstairs. You know, I'm investing into that room to make it mine. You know, so I do think that having like sort of, and just to bring it back to like just general relationship stuff, just having points where you don't need to do things with your partner and just having that like alone time, I think is really healthy.
Absolutely. Space is you need space. I mean, and that's one thing I learned from my last relationship too, where like we were holding on to each other way too tight. Like for the first couple weeks of us being in a relationship, we chilled every single day. Every single day. But the reason why I also did that is because for me at least, I want to get as close as possible as soon as possible with my partner.
You.
And so within literally, I swear on my life, within 2 weeks of us, because we talked for. So I think we started like talking January 22nd of last year. Some I don't know why I remember that date, but I just do. And so we had like a few FaceTime sleepovers, and then we eventually like started like properly dating, and like the first 2 weeks in February, out of chilling every single day, after those 2 weeks, it felt like we've known each other for a whole year. Like we got deep. So like what we did in 2 weeks, people do in 4 or 5 months, and that was because of me, because that's just the way I am. And so, but like it got to a point where it was just too much. We were like only spending time with each other, and like I barely got to see my guys, and like it was way too like suffocating for both of us. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I did enjoy it in the moment, like I did enjoy it. I loved it. Like her family was truly amazing. Like God bless her family for like, because that was probably, wow, it made my life so much easier. But it's just like, I loved being in their house because I loved their house. I loved her brother, who I viewed as a younger brother, and her mom literally like treated me like her own son. And like it was all so amazing, except for our relationship, which was unhealthy. But it was just one of those ones where like I didn't mind it, but it really caused some damage.
That makes sense.
And like we needed space, but yeah, guys, space is important, very, very important. Like as we kind of mentioned earlier, is like you want to save things to talk about when you're together, you know? So like live your life during the day, focus on your business, go to your job, do things with your family, do things with your friends, and at the end of the night, get together and be like, hey babe, like, what'd you do today? Oh, I gotta tell you, I got so much to talk about. This. Oh babe, what'd you do today? This, you know? But if you're constantly talking to each other throughout the day, or if you're with each other 24/7, what's there to talk about? There's like nothing to talk. You have nothing to talk about.
You're gonna find a lot more dead space or dead
and
air.
Especially, it's even worse when you're not close with the family. Now what? Like I was close with them, so I had the option to go chill with her brother, talk to her mom, whatever. But if you're not close with the family, or like not like close like the way I was, what are you gonna do now? The only other thing left to do is to get intimate with your partner. Like that's gonna occupy time. Like what else are you supposed to do?
How did you
I don't know, man.
How did you go about getting close with their family?
Oh, very good question. I'll explain that in just 1 second.
Because this I've never been in like a serious relationship, right?
Yeah.
So this is all like interesting stuff to me for sure.
And I'm glad you find it interesting, because this is where I'm gonna segue into for like how to get close, you know? So guys, when it comes to the family, one thing I've learned too, and oh wow, this is so funny how everything ties back. So one thing I learned from that one girl that lived in Ohio was that when it comes to your partner's family, if their family for whatever reason doesn't like you, it's not going to work.
It's not going to
Cut it off. Don't even engage in anything.
That makes sense.
But literally the biggest tip I can give you is just be a nice person. Literally be a nice person. Be kind. Be your true self. And just be a good human being. Like when you enter the house, if you see them and be like, hey, how are you? Like Mrs. Blank and blank, you know, like I hope you're well. She's like, oh, thank you so much. Like, who are you? And like you introduce, oh, like I'm Ben. Like nice to meet you. She's like, oh, like I'm Veronica. You know, I'm her mom. Whatever. Okay, cool. You know, and like even like for dads, they're like introduce yourself to the dad, and like even the brother introduce yourself to the brothers, and then you know want to be around the family. So every time you come over, say hi to them, or if like or have movie nights with them. You know, because that's what I did with my girl's family. It was like it was her brother, sister. Like it was us four watching movies together, and like, or even like when the whole family was together, we'd all be downstairs. Her mom, her sister, her dad wasn't, well, is not present in her life, and is not like at the house. So it was just like her older sister and the younger brother, and then mom, and we used to just chill with one another, and we used to just have fun. So so just be a good human being. Always greet them. Always do things for them if they need help. But hey, like, yo, do you need help with this? Do you need a helping hand? Like, you know, and if they want to talk to you, let them get to know you. Like have dinners with them, have lunches with them. If they say like, oh, so like, what are you up to nowadays, Ben? Or what are you up to nowadays, David? Oh, this one I'm up to. I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and blah 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 blah. And they're gonna like, you know, see that you're a fine young gentleman or a fine young lady, and just be straight up and just be kind and want to be a part of family gatherings, movie nights, occasions. And like, why wouldn't you want to get close to the family? Like I enjoyed it. I truly did. Like there's some moments where like I enjoyed her family more than my actual girl. Yeah, and it's funny.
Yo, that caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie.
And so
this guy said, yo, I like the family more.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yo, hear this now. Yeah. I told my girl early on in the relationship, as a joke,
Oh no.
I'm gonna make your family like me more than you. And guess what ended up happening?
Those ones are always funny. I've heard other guys say that too.
I made her, and
man.
what ended up happening? Her family liked me more than her.
Yeah.
And they actually there would be times where I'd just chill with just her family, and she'd be like just doing her own thing.
Yeah. Wow. Like, I see what you're saying. And what I gathered from that was, and I've also like been learning in my life lately that, you really need to put, or nurture your relationships as if they're plants, you know? You gotta water your relationships, you know? And, from what I gathered from that is that if you're in a relationship and it's a serious relationship, their family are also relationships that you need to nurture. You feel me? Like, your girlfriend's mom or whatever the case may be, that's a relationship you have. Like, you could actually, I feel like for me, there was always this preconceived notion of, that's your mom, that's your dad, I'm not gonna get too involved. But that doesn't really make any sense, you know? That you could have a whole nuanced and different relationship with somebody else's parent, and that's fine, you know? Or like you said, you could see their little brother as your little brother, and that's a whole relationship there. What I am concerned about is once things end, or if things end.
I can talk about that too.
How does that go?
So before I get to that, when you get into a relationship with this girl, you are becoming part of her family now, because you are now a member of that family.
Yeah.
Especially if you get close, because if you want to be serious, you are now a member. If it's just a hookup or a one-time thing, whatever, okay, obviously not. But if you actually want to be serious with this person, you are entering somebody else's life, and not only her life, but her life consists of her family, especially if she lives with her family. And so if that's the case, why wouldn't you want to become close with her family? And why wouldn't you want them to like you and respect you and be like, he was the best boyfriend she ever had, or she was the best girlfriend you ever had? You know what I'm saying? You're part of the family. You want to be a part of the family, because everything will be that much. Your life will be so much easier, and like it's just a respectful thing to do. And like it's a whole different vibe chilling with adults too, and like some of us actually like it because it's like the mature conversations we have, and it's just like they respect you and they actually see your value more than that person does. You know, like her family.
They have an outside perspective. You feel me? So if they really do see you as like a good person overall, like they could even give advice that favors you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you should stay with this guy. I have something on that too. He's the one. He's just that sort of thing. You know?
So speaking of advice, literally, her mom. I got so close with her mom that I opened up to her mom about every single thing that was happening in our relationship.
Oh yeah.
I told her, I'm like, this was happening. That's happening. X, Y, and Z is happening. What do I do? Tell me what should I do with your own daughter?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Wow. And no,
we were this.
That makes so much sense because it's her mom. Like that's the one you want to talk about.
We were this.
Wow.
We literally sat on the porch like this, like in front of the house. Her and I, right beside each other.
And you just
talked. Like, I call her mom.
Wow.
So right from the get, her name is Jen.
Yeah.
But right from the get, I never called her that. Like as a joke, like, you know, it's like, oh, hey, mom, right? And it just turned to a thing. And I never called her by her real name.
Wow.
Even to this day. I call her, hey, mom, how are you, mom? I literally said, hey, mom, like, what are you up to? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Never once called her by her name. Hey, mom, can I talk to you?
I couldn't do that.
That's just me.
But I definitely see the value there. And
but yeah, we were close.
I do think that like the reason why I probably like I can't see myself getting close to like my girl's parents just because of the person I am, and I don't really get close like that like on first interactions for the most part. I mean, sometimes it does happen like that same girl I was talking about, like I don't know, the vibe was just different with her. She was an extrovert. That's what it is. Like extroverts that are nice, that's what it is. That's what it is. Nice extroverts are fun to talk to. That's what it is. But if it's not that sort of experience, I'm not gonna get that close to a person. But I would like to like get close with a girl's parents and their family and just be a part of the family. That is part of like probably just like a different experience overall that I just haven't experienced, you know?
And I guess one tip I'd give to anybody that's introverted and wants to get close with the family is that you don't need to do too much. You don't. I'm telling you, just doing the bare minimum, doing a little bit goes a long way. So what I did was extra because that was my mindset. I want to get close with everybody, be a part of the family. Yeah. But for anybody that's introverted, it's simple. Hey, how are you? How's everything? Oh, everything is good, Omar. How are you? Very well, thank you so much. And you go about your business. And just being a part of the dinner. You don't have to talk much, but they ask you questions, just answer. Just be yourself. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just participating and getting involved into things And simple greetings goes a very long way. Respect and kindness goes a long way in this situation. So if you're introverted, you don't have to do, you don't have to be extra. You don't have to spend time with your family alone like the way I did. Just greetings here and there, and being part of the dinners, and like wanting to spend time with the family, like at least like being in the vicinity, like with your partner and them. I'm telling you, it'll go long, because they'll see you like, oh, cool, he actually wants to be around us. He's very kind. He's a very respectable gentleman, and he treats our daughter or son right. Game over. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. Just simple human like decency will go a long way. Just show respect. That's it.
Yeah, I was okay, here's the topic, because I was talking to one of the people in my Discord, right? And he's a dad, right?
I love it.
But he's also introverted. So I was like, as an introvert, I want to know how being an introverted father impacts like parenting, because you need your alone time, sort of thing, you know? And it's even a more perplexing situation if your children are extroverts. So it's kind of it's sort of that balance, right? And he said that it's like, when it comes to his kids, it's just he's ready to sacrifice anything. Like anything at like, he's fine with giving up his sort of non-negotiables of needing that alone time for himself. He's fine with it. He will go above and beyond for his kids. So, and for somebody without kids, it's like, I can't fathom it. You know, I can't fathom being able to sacrifice that much for somebody. But I guess it's just like, once you have kids, it's like a flip, eh?
It changes you.
Or like a switch.
It changes you. I mean, I'll find that out once I become a dad, but it does change you. Yeah. It changes you like you get a whole new perspective on life, apparently. And like, you just do things that you would never do if you didn't have kids, you know? It's just like that. I mean, for right now, we just have to enjoy our youth and enjoy the way we are. And if you do decide to have kids, great. If not, that's cool too. But yeah, apparently it really does change you in a whole nother way. Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, I'm cool.
You're out of questions.
I'm out of,
no way. This guy out of questions? Yo, I might keep prepared with the whole essay. Come on, where the essay questions at? I see a lot on there. Yeah, go ahead. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Hit me, baby.
Okay, so this is what I was thinking the other day. So someone's dialect, how they speak, how they refer to other people.
Let's pause this.
Oh, yeah?
Restroom break.
Okay, cool.
Guys, we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back. We just had to take a little restroom break after all the water we drank. But all right, hit me with it.
Yeah. All right. So
music stop.
The music. Oh,
you guys, this whole podcast. I don't know if you guys heard anything, but like some neighbors over here were blasting like some Espanol music, some English music, like was having a party. I'm not surprised. Today's a beautiful day. It's like. Right now it is 25 degrees. We're in the shade right now, so it's honestly feeling nice. But
7:39.
I mean, they stopped, so who knows if they're done partying or what? But hey, we'll take it.
Don't jinx it. They might start back.
Or like these guys like right next to us. So obviously you guys can't see us, but we're, like this backyard's connected to another backyard, and some people were kind of just chilling before we started. And so what if they just start blasting music right now? Oh my god. But hey, I mean, hopefully the mics don't pick it up as much. But what are we gonna do about it? All right. Next question, let's hear it.
Here is not really a question, statement.
Right. Statements.
Thoughts on this. So this is what I was thinking.
All right, let's hear it.
Someone's dialect, how they speak, how they refer to others, it can really give you just a bit of insight on who they are as a person. So somebody who, can I swear?
I'm fine.
All right,
well, we've been here the whole time. I mean,
let's say this is an extreme example, but like a guy who says like, "Oh, that girl's a bitch," or this and that and this and like stuff like that, where I don't really be calling a woman bitch, or I don't really be using the word bitch unless it's like, "Oh, you got bitched," that sort of thing, you know. But how they speak can somewhat give an insight to who they are as a person, because I wouldn't like necessarily judge a person's entire like self off of that, but
based on that, yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I literally made a video on this too.
Oh yeah,
and so
you posted it yet?
yeah, this was time ago. This was like probably like a couple weeks ago. I literally the video was titled "People subconsciously keep a note of what you say and do, and will form an opinion based like on you based on what you say and do." So it's literally what you just said, and I think it's 100% true. Like, because if people don't really know you like that and haven't spoken to you, the way you articulate things and the way you behave and all this stuff, they're gonna start to like form an opinion. They're gonna be like, okay, cool, like this guy's good energy, good vibes, authentic, and like that's the vibe I try and give off to people who don't really know me, because that's who I am, you know. And so that all comes down to being authentic. When you're authentic and just give off the vibes that you want to give off, you're just being yourself. You're not being fake, putting on a facade. And so it definitely gives an insight, because if I'm around somebody and they're just like trash talking and just bad vibes and whatever, like I hate it when people especially if I don't know them. It's gonna like put a bad image in my mind about them, unless I start to talk to them and figure out maybe they were mad or having a bad day or whatever. But if you don't really know these people, they're gonna subconsciously keep note of all these things, you know. And even like for me, like I go to the extent of like even my friends around me, like, or even like certain girls that like I may want to get into a relationship with. Even if we're in the friend stage, I subconsciously keep a note of their certain insecurities and certain actions and things that they say. So if I'm like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't get into a relationship with them. So I take it to that extent where like I consider everything, to the point where I'm like, it will prevent me or make me want to get into a relationship with you. And so some of it was literally like subconscious reasons. I'm like, yeah, because of this, it's not going to happen. Or even just being around certain people. Like maybe some people just have a different energy, different vibe, and I pick up on that. And at first, maybe I won't want to be around them, but then I figure more about their personality, and I realize that I do. It all just really depends.
Yeah, I feel like it is a tricky situation, just because like I don't want to be like, oh, I heard that one specific thing, and it's just like, I don't know if I'm down to like hang out with you no more. So I do think that you do really need to like sit down, get to know a person before you like say, I'm not going to hang out with you no more. But it is, you can see some of those like red flags early on, based on how they speak or how they present themselves. But on the same note, it's like I've seen people who talk a certain way or present themselves a certain way who are actually like really deep and like actually present themselves in one way but are actually another way. So it's like I don't know what to do in those situations where it's like you kind of just have to figure a person out.
Yeah, I think,
you know,
first impressions is going to do that to you. Like you're gonna, like based on like you being around someone for the first time, it's going to form a certain opinion in your head. But maybe if you just see it through and like you're around them more often and you talk to them about more deeper stuff, then you start to unlock a whole nother level to them, because maybe they just end up being a friend of a friend in your group, and they just end up chilling with you guys one day and you get to know them more. It's more about really just coming from a place of understanding and really getting to know them further, or maybe not directly getting to know them further, but just being around them and just seeing
how
all sides to them. Yeah. Hopefully give you a better picture of who they are as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah. And I feel like this is why it's important to just, I don't know why I thought it's another relationship thing. Why it's important to start off as friends before getting into a relationship with certain people. Because like you get to figure out all these little nuances and you get to subconsciously keep note of it and be like, okay, I changed my mind. I don't want to be in a relationship with this person. You know? So
like in that situation, like let's say you're just kicking it with a girl, you know, you're in that platonic stage where it's just friends, and you decide, oh well, I don't really want a relationship with this person. You're still staying that girl's friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're friends. Like it's one of those things that's like, if we're friends to begin with and we're cool,
then
if for some reason, we're cool, but if, like maybe down the line, like the thought crosses my mind, like, would I be able to get into a relationship? And I also made a video on this where it's like, as I get older, I start to look at the people around me to see who I could possibly be in a relationship with, because I've known them for a while. Because like there's girls in my life which I've known for a while that's always kind of been platonic, but now as I'm getting older and getting more serious with stuff and want like a serious relationship, why not go for somebody that like I know and they know me personally, right? And so that's why I've considered, even like the girls that I know in my life, it's crossed my mind, and I do a little self-reflect. I'm like, can I, or would I not be able to get in a relationship with them, you know? And I think about it. Some yes, some no, some depends. And I just let it go. And I'm just still friends with them. So it's just kind of more of a considering, like, that could be an opportunity, because it would be a very good opportunity and it would be successful. It'd be a very successful relationship because I've known these people for a long time.
Well, so
unless it's completely platonic.
Yeah.
That's different, but it does cross my mind, you know?
So if, that gets me thinking, right? So let's say you're friends with this girl, and you know, it's platonic, but you do gain feelings. Are you going to take that opportunity and possibly stop something like your platonic relationship and kind of like break that down and in hopes of having something more? Or are you just gonna like chill and just be like, you know what, it's not that serious?
Good question, because I feel like a lot of people are scared to do anything because they don't want to ruin the friendship. That's what we all hear that. And it's true. Like, you don't want to ruin anything, but I think it comes down to the person. It comes down to the person you want to confess feelings to and what they're like. In my case with my one friend that I've known forever, like, she already knows me inside and I told him, like, you can literally tell me anything and everything and I like won't judge you, I won't react to it. And she just did one day. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy you literally took that step and had the courage and got out of your comfort zone to tell me that.
It takes a lot of courage.
Even it does. Even though you've known me for a while, it's a whole different thing, you know. But she knew I could take it. So it's just one of those ones where it's like, if you know the person, if you know they're really kind and open about things, you can bring it up in conversation. You could literally like bring it up in a nice way, be like, hey, like, I know we've been friends for a while, but lately there's like some thoughts have crossed my mind of getting into a relationship with you because it's like, you're an amazing person and I respect you and I think we have great chemistry and I don't know, I just want to see what your thoughts were. And literally just bring them nice and stuff like that, assuming you know the other person is kind and would be open to talking about it, because like, just be like, hey, I just want to have a discussion, just see what you think. And she'll be like, you know, no, because of X, Y, Z. Cool, awesome. I appreciate it. And done. Cut it there. Still be their friend, and that's
and you're
it.
still friends.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it's your approach to it as well. You know, it's not coming out and being like, hey, I like you. No, it's more like, hey, I want to talk to you about something that's been on my mind. It is uncomfortable for me to say, but I just want to see your opinion on it. And then you talk.
Okay, I feel you. Like I see it. It really does matter how you approach the situation, because like how you present something really impacts if like how that conversation will go. If you just come out and say I like you, that puts the person on the spot. They look like an asshole if they say no, you know, especially and if we're just talking about pressure, like proposing to somebody in public, like with a whole if you go to like a basketball game and get the camera set up on the girl and ask her there, and she says yes, you don't know if she said yes to you or just because of the pressure, you know, like you should never ever do that unless you're like super sure, and
unless you like, you know, she like wants something like that. Yeah,
unless you know.
And that's even worse when the person's introverted.
Oh God. Oh God. Don't
I know. But yeah, so what I'm trying to get at is like, it depends on the other person. So yeah, I think you should bring it up if you develop feelings, but bring it up like because your approach matters just as much as what you say, because it's gonna dictate how they react. That shit.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah.
Literally. And so bring it up in a kind way. But like, if you know they obviously have feelings for somebody else, or if you know that like they're committed to someone else, then yeah, probably hold off on it. And there might be times where like you and this person are like kind of flirty with each other. And you know, and you're not 100% sure, because this one friend and I were kind of like that. And it's like, I'll see what I'm gonna do to the situation. I haven't seen them in like a month, but like I'll see what happens. But it's one of those ones where like, who knows, you can meet anybody anywhere. But even if you're with this friend and like you kind of like playfully like hit each other and like do like these cute little teasers, then you should probably say something. Probably say something.
I feel
but if they're neutral and they never give any signs of liking anybody else or anything like that, and you know they're nice and open about it, then you can still bring it up. But if you know they like somebody else and all that stuff, then yeah, obviously don't.
Just makes
at least
more
not for that moment.
Yeah. Time and place for sure. But something else just popped up in my mind. How do you feel about if you're in a relationship with a girl and she proposes to you?
Yo, I think that's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's kind of like,
I'd be down for it too, honestly.
Yo, I'd be like, I'd be okay with it. Like, I'd be fine with it, because that's how I know she actually wants me.
That's facts.
That's how I know she really loves me. Yeah. And I'll be like, yeah.
But and then but then it's also like, I guess that like the pressure's already on the guy to do it, right? You know, like
societal norms makes it that way, unfortunately.
Societal norms.
I think more girls should even ask guys out, period.
Oh, for sure, bro.
It makes it so much easier, because for us guys, I feel like, I'm not speaking for everybody, but for most guys, we're in the state of like, we don't know if the girl likes us.
No.
And so it's like, you know how much easier it is for a girl just to come up and be like, hey, I like you, like, you know, let me get your number. Be like, oh, yeah, here. You know, and like, even for me too, like, even like for me, like, I'm not, like, I would never be the type to just go up and ask somebody out. I like to get to know them, like, flirt with them, whatever, and then maybe like make my next move or whatever.
I don't get how people gain up the courage, like, to just go and ask somebody for the number, and then they hang out like the next day.
It's funny.
Like,
I was talking about this today with my friend, and even like a couple days ago with like another one of my guys, where it's like, imagine having the confidence to go up to some random girl you see on the street that's cute and just ask for their number. Like, it doesn't seem like a hard task, because like, it doesn't seem like a hard task, but like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna say no, you know?
Exactly.
But it's such a hard thing to do, and everybody just talks the talk, which like, it's just, imagine just having that confidence. Like, for me, it's more of like, for me, I feel most comfortable making a move. It's like, if it's like through mutual people, like my friend introduced me to a girl and we kind of get close and know each other. Or if it's already in a setting where like I know they might already have interest, then I can play into it. Yes. Then I can lean into it.
Yes. But you don't like going in blind.
No, I don't think I ever have. Oh. Like, even with like my ex, we actually met through a music video.
Really?
So yeah, she's supposed to be in a music video.
That's kind of cool.
And we ended up just DMing separately on Snap, and then I knew she was interested in me because she's like, oh, you're cute and all this stuff, and I just guessed my signal, right? So I just leaned into it and faced on it. The rest is history. The rest of that unhealthy relationship is history. But yeah, so for me, it's always been, I know they have some interest, so I can lean into it. Okay.
That makes sense. I feel like
because even for an extroverted guy, I'm not gonna go up to someone and ask them out.
Even for you, yeah.
No, I get, yeah. I'm okay. Thank you though. Appreciate the offer, but
I think I would agree with that. Like, I don't even, I feel like the next relationship I'm getting into is like.
Oh, I have a question for you. Sorry, I hate to interrupt you.
Let's hear.
Would you think it was? I feel like it'd be easier if an extroverted girl came up to you. I think it would just make your life so much easier. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm trying to imagine you trying to like get with another introverted girl, and I'm like, how would that happen?
It wouldn't happen.
So like, in that case, if an extroverted girl actually liked you and like wanted you, like, would you still go through with it? And she made your life so much easier. She's like, hey, Omar, I like you. Like, you trying to go out? And you're like, sure.
I mean,
and she did most of the talking.
And like, if she did most of the talking, see, like, I'm the type of person where,
and she just wanted your presence.
Yeah, like I'm the type of person where, if you get to know me, I can be loud. You know, I could definitely talk, you know, once I'm comfortable. But it's getting to that point where I just flunk out on, you know, I don't like it. I don't like getting to that point because it's just a bunch of uncomfortable situations for me, you know? So if I knew a girl, if I knew the girl beforehand, and she came up to me like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, like, you want to go out with me and everything, I'd probably be down. If it was just like a random person on the street and she came up to me, that would just depend on, like, I guess that would just solely depend on looks at that point and how she presents, like, the topic and everything like that. But other than that, like, you only have looks and how she talks on that, you know? Right. So yeah, I think an extroverted girl would probably be the best for me because I do like to just kind of sit back and observe the conversation first, gain like grasp an opinion, and then speak on what I think, you know? So I'm not really quick on my feet like that.
Because, you know what I think the funny thing is that extroverted people can become more introverted, but introverted is very hard to become extroverted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can come down to your level easily.
You can come down, huh? Okay.
I have no problem with that.
I did not know that.
I have no problem with that. It's not like extrovert people have ADHD. Some people do, obviously. Some people have ADHD. But, like, it's not like an extrovert person can't calm down and just be introverted with you.
Yeah.
But it's hard the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Does that kind of make sense? Like, it's
hard for you. It's hard the other way around for me to come up.
It's hard for you to come up, but I can come down.
Yeah.
So that being said, I think you would love an extroverted girl, assuming she could come down.
Yeah,
assuming she could come down.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does make sense. I mean, like, ideally, the ideal situation is I meet an introvert and things go astronomically well.
You guys
to
click,
the point where, like, we just click, you know?
100%.
That's the ideal situation. Because, like, being with somebody with, like, your same sort of tendencies, that seems to be, like, pretty good.
Or
but
like having commonalities?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of
That
stuff in
sort of
common,
thing.
similar lifestyle.
But
Yeah.
an extroverted girl, she'd probably, like you're saying, she'd probably like
She'd have to come down to your level.
she'd come down to my level, but she'd also like be able to bring me up to her level, you know? Like I'm not able to do that myself. I need an extrovert to kind of help me there, you know? So I feel like that could be a pretty good relationship as well. But what was I saying before? I don't know. I lost it.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out like how we got to this topic, having extroverted, introverted. Oh man, what were we saying?
I was saying something
I'm
about
trying
a
to
girl.
remember too.
I was about to say something.
But how do we
about a
segue into
girl.
this? Like I'm trying to remember how we segued into.
No idea. We were
introverts.
talking about marriage at first, like if a girl would propose to you and shit.
And then I asked you if it'd be easier if an extroverted girl came up to you. If that would just make it, because I feel like that would be easier. I think that's how we segued into all the stuff we were talking about. Yeah. Here's the thought about marriage. I thought about the other day. I'm scared to get married. I'm scared.
Yeah?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why for legality reasons. I do not believe that there's any positives to marriage for men nowadays.
I agree.
There's no positives. There's no benefits. Zero. Nada. It's BS for men.
Yeah.
Literally, we have no say in anything. We get divorced. She takes half of everything. She takes the kids.
Would you get a prenup?
Yes.
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 Is it a requirement?
Yes, it's a requirement. I told this.
Oh,
I know. I
shoot.
had to.
That's crazy.
I had to. This is a requirement. Okay.
You
The
need a
only
prenup.
reason I say it's a requirement is because of my businesses.
That's fair.
If I wasn't the type of guy to be in businesses, even then, I think prenups. I think everybody should sign a prenup to keep themselves safe and to keep their assets. Okay, I hate when girls go on that BS like, oh my god, you don't love me. Oh my god, you think we're gonna break up? Like, shut up. I love you. I love you, but for illegal reasons, so we can both be safe and keep everything that we have. Let's sign a prenup. Like, why would you not want to sign a prenup? Only girls with bad intentions or women with bad intentions who just want you for your money and potentially, like, you know, if things go south, that they can take some of your stuff, will not sign a prenup.
I guess it's I'm trying to think about how they would see it, you know? And I think it's just a thing like, oh, they think, why would we need a prenup? We're going to stay together forever.
I know.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And,
you don't know what's going to happen.
And that's the thing. Like, and statistics, like at least in America, 50% of all marriages fail.
Yeah.
50%.
Get a prenup. Get a prenup.
You know what? No. Here's even worse. Out of those 50% of failed marriages, 80% is started by women.
Started by women. I think I heard that statistic
80% of the 50% is
crazy.
Women. Literally. That just shows you that men aren't the ones to get divorced. Women, 80% of those women file for divorce first. So please tell me, where does the benefit for men come in here? They end marriages first. I'm not saying everybody. And we don't keep shit.
No. I mean,
like, where's it?
Even like when it comes to kids as well.
Yeah, the court is gonna side with the mom. Yeah. So it's like there's no benefits whatsoever. So for me, it's like, one, I'm either gonna sign a prenup and then file a legal, do the legal papers to make our marriage official, or what I've heard the other day. This was so smart. I came across this TikTok. The guy was like, go through the wedding ceremony, but just don't make it legal. And I'm like, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Or if she wants to make it legal, we're doing prenup. So I'll have the ceremony. I'd love to have the ceremony. I've always wanted to, and I think that's amazing. We all get the family together, do a kiss, whatever, all the good stuff, right? But for legal reasons, because of my businesses and all the stuff I have going on, I'm not because if something happens where we grow apart, and it's very possible that we just end up going on different paths, that's fine. We can have kids together and we grow apart. Nothing wrong with that. I want to be able to keep everything I've worked for.
That makes sense. And just on the topic of marriage, I don't think it's so much that I'm scared of marriage in the same way, but I'm not sure that I really want to get married. It's more of a I think I am gonna go through with that, like, have the ceremony, but not a legal thing. I don't think I need the legal thing, you know? I don't really care for the ceremony. The ceremony is more for the girl for me. Like, I don't care, but if you want a marriage, sure, fine. But number one, something I think might be a non-negotiable for me. I don't want a big wedding. I don't want a big wedding at all.
I've always thought I wanted a small wedding as well.
I want a small wedding because, like, I don't want a bunch of people who don't know me to come to like my wedding and for what? I'm not even a party person. Like, it gets like that sometimes.
I agree. I want people, like I told my mom this. I'm like, yo, I want a small wedding. I want it to be small and warm with people that I really like mess with.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we have family. And I'm like, we'll talk about it. Well, it's my wedding. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But I trust me. I feel you. I only want people that I know to be there.
I agree.
So yeah, for any girls out there, yo, if you're trying to be with us, prenups, or we're not legally.
We're not legally getting married.
We're not legally getting married. We'll have the ceremony, so keep that in mind.
We can see the pictures, but it's not gonna be on the papers.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the kind of thought I had the other day. It just it's scary. That's why, like, I'm not trying to lose all of this that I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I could see that. I mean, like, on one hand, it's like, well, we want to build something together, sort of thing. You know, pool everything in one sort of effort. But at the same time, it's like, I do my shit, you do your shit. We could pool that together at like afterward. But we're not doing the same thing. So, prenup. You know, what's your question?
Agreed. If you get married, not legally, if you get married, if your wife wanted to have a single bank account, would you? Would you have to be able to make? Yo, I know your answer.
Bro, what?
I have the same answer. You're gonna say no. You're gonna say no. Yo, me too.
For what? What do you need a single bank account?
But
for?
have you heard that? You've heard of people doing that? No.
I mean, I've heard of like people having access, but I've never
Like,
heard of
same account,
one singular account.
Let's put our accounts together and we just dump money into it and then we'll pay for certain things.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
There's no reason I see for that.
Me too.
I want to be able to buy what I want. You don't need to have like, nah, man, nah, I'm not about it. What do you think about it? Like,
I agree 100%,
yeah.
man. Like, yo, like if I want to buy things I want to buy, she can buy things she want to buy, and we can agree on what bills we're gonna pay. Mm-hmm. But I'm not pulling my money together into one account.
I don't think there's any point to that.
If you guys break up, it's even worse. Now you have one account. Yeah, like, bro, like, it's just like it's
not gonna work.
Yeah, no, like, you see what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you have the same thought on this. Yeah, go do your thing. Oh man, God, yo, we're having a blast right now. Yo, guys, I'm sorry for not interacting with y'all that often. We're just doing a podcast right now, so you guys are more than welcome to join us and just sit in and see what's up.
Hey man, you want patties? Come on, drop patties.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna share some.
I don't want to eat right now, but they're here.
You're not gonna share one with me?
Oh no, there's two for each of us. Here.
Let's have one right now together.
I want to eat now.
Have one right now.
All right.
Jamaican patties?
Probably.
Oh, came and cut. Yo, I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Yo, spicy or mild?
Can you handle spicy?
Only, man.
All right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, yo, yeah. Your mom brought these, right? Your mom? Yeah, mom.
Yeah.
Thank her for me, please.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate it. Go ahead, man.
I really don't see the point. One account.
It's so bullshit.
Like, I'm wondering who gets coerced into that, you know? Like, this isn't spicy.
It's good. Listen. This kind of fits into the same analogy I was saying before. Like, people who can handle spice can come down to something that's not spicy, but people who can't handle spice can't go up.
No, they cannot.
Yo, I'm telling you, this analogy fits for everything. Literally, man. Little good though. Where'd she get these from?
I don't know. Probably
I was about to say. Alrighty, y'all. We took a quick break to eat some amazing Jamaican patties. So, big shout outs to Omar's mom for coming through clutch with that, because I think it was time to eat. It was time to eat. But for those of y'all listening, if you haven't had Jamaican patty, you're missing out. And if you do, Get the spicy ones.
Get the spicy ones. Don't go mild.
Don't get mild. Come on. You know, branch out because spice is good for you too. So there you go. To do that, take care of that, and that's all I can say. But guys, it's been such a pleasure having you guys listen today. For everybody that's watching right now, all of you have been so amazing for tuning in, taking time out of your day to watch this, listen to us talk about such amazing and deep topics, and to have such an amazing guy like Omar asking all these deep, just deep questions, and us really engaging and sharing our opinion and really, diving into all these things, because these aren't things you talk about on a daily basis, and things that, if you really foster a connection with somebody, you can really open up and talk about these things. So, yeah, guys, I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. We love you guys, and we're not only doing this for ourselves, but we're doing it for you guys to, make you guys think, and hopefully you guys can relate to some of the stuff, or maybe you agree to disagree on some things. Whatever it is, we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and yeah, I think that more or less concludes this. Omar, you have any last words for everybody?
Thanks for tuning in. And we hope to do this again sometime. We don't know when, but it will happen again.
Yeah, we're definitely going to make time, because this was honestly an amazing experience. And we went crazy with it with people that are live right now watching this, or people that are now watching us on TikTok. All of you guys are amazing, as I said. And we'll keep you posted with... I'll also keep you guys posted when I'm done editing this and when I decide to post some of this. And if you haven't already, follow Omar. His @ is callme.gaskin. So call me, literally CALLME.gaskin, GASKIN, correct?
Yeah.
There you go, brother. Follow him, and we will catch you guys hopefully on the next podcast. Cool?
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Easy, y'all.